Click, click, boom! What's going on, faithfuls? The Nothing But Niners crew is here to overreact to this game that we just saw. Now, before we start, let me just let you guys know it's preseason. And based off of what I read on Twitter, we shouldn't be excited about anything positive, and we shouldn't be down about anything negative. So, show's over. Thank you guys for watching tonight. We appreciate you guys taking your time out, but preseason means absolutely nothing. There is no point in watching it. You good with that?
Above all else, stay faithful.
Peace. I'm just kidding. I'm look at the panel's faces. They went from smiles to like, wait, what? Guys, man, look, why do people feel like that? Like if something good happens, it's cool until bad stuff starts happening, then okay, just remember nothing matters. Why are we watching?
No, because then they just remember the good stuff.
I just don't get it. All right, so before we get to all the nitty-gritty of this overreaction show, because I'm damn sure here to overreact, I want to let you guys know where to find us. Check out the website, www.nothingbutniners.com. There you're going to be led to our social medias. We have Twitter and we have Snapchat, and both of those are Nothing But Nine, ERS. We have iTunes, we have Facebook, and we have Instagram, and all of those you can look us up as Nothing But Niners or NB Niners, and we will pop right up. All right, guys, if you've never checked us out on iTunes or Stitcher or Google Play, iHeartRadio, any of those venues, if you've never checked us out on the podcast format, make sure you do that. Listen to us, give us a 5-star rating, leave us some reviews, and we will really appreciate that. Did my daughter just say "fuck you"? Did you hear that?
I did not hear anything.
All right,
I'm not a rat either, so.
We can't hear you.
We can't hear y'all.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. I don't know what happened. I didn't even do anything, but we're going to issue out a challenge. You guys are going to have the ability to call in tonight. We're going to give you guys 2 minutes, 120 seconds to rant, rave, or complain about anything that you want tonight. We will issue the phone number in about 25, 30 minutes, so you guys can do that. And I'm going to issue a challenge to anybody who is participating in that. You guys have to come up with something positive that you took from the game tonight. All right? Also, for the people who are watching, if you want to pop in here, we're going to try to get you guys links out there so we can do that. Someone's got to be watching the chat. Nick is already on that, so that's good to go. This is going to be a lot of fun, guys. So let's start with the panel. We got Steve, we got Eric, and we got Anthony in here tonight. All you guys wave, say hi. How's everybody feeling? You guys good? All right, we're going to start in reverse. My man Anthony over there, he's dabbing, so we're going to start with the dab man over there. Your thoughts on this game, man? Overreact away. What's going on?
Fuck, man. My biggest pardon my language. My biggest overreaction is CJ Beathard, man. This guy is just not winning our hearts exactly. And I mean, yeah, Nick Mullins threw a pick, but Nick Mullins looks a lot more poised and confident than CJ Beathard does. So I don't know what's going on with that. That's my big overreaction. You
know what's crazy about that? Shanahan has already said CJ Beathard is safe. He went on the air and KMBR and said there's really only 2 positions that are safe, and it's both of our quarterbacks, the 1 and 2. So doesn't matter what CJ Beathard does. Doesn't matter how good Nick Mullins looks. And by the way, his 2 preseason picks both came off of tip passes. They weren't his fault. But apparently Jimmy Garoppolo's interception, that was all on Dante Pettis. Did you guys see the video of Kyle Shanahan in the presser?
Watch the presser.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It doesn't matter that Dante Pettis jumped as high as he possibly could, and the ball scraped his fingertips. None of that mattered. He should have came down with it, without a doubt. Fuck out of here. Why is he protecting his quarterback so much? All right, I'm sorry. I'm pissed off. Let me pull it back a little bit. This is your job to reel me in. You're supposed to be the positive one.
No, I already tried arguing this shit.
Okay. All
right. Did you guys hear the rest? Everything before it was Dante Pettis' fault, where he said Jimmy Garoppolo made a bad throw. Not every throw in the NFL is going to be perfect, but you still have to come down with the ball.
But he said but. And when you say but, everything you said before it doesn't matter. That's the rule with the word but. Hey, Nick, I love you, but you don't give a fuck about what I said about before that. As soon as I say but, I'm about to lay into you, right?
You. It depends on the person.
It depends on no one. It's a rule. Go ahead, Eric. I see you, man.
Now, my buddy, he trains receivers, and his saying to his receivers is, all quarterbacks suck, and you're supposed to make your quarterback look good. So maybe that's kind of Shanahan's thought process is, yes, it is Jimmy G's fault, but I want my receivers to make my quarterback look good even when they're bad. So that might be him just trying to kind of hold Pettis accountable, even though it's obvious it was a bad pass from Garoppolo.
What was he supposed to do? Go gadget arms and get 6-inch longer arms? Like he literally looked like Dwight Clark making the catch. He was fully extended.
Oh, he came out with that. Oh, he came down with it.
Yeah, because Joe Montana didn't throw the ball as high as Jimmy Garoppolo did.
Are you crazy?
No.
That ball was probably the same height. Dante Pettis is just shorter than him.
Nuts. Well, either way, the guy isn't capable of – Steve, man, what's going on, man? No. I'm going to give it back to Eric. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that, Steve. I'm going to give it back to Eric. I want to know your overreaction tonight. What was your biggest takeaway? And it could be something positive, by the way. You can overreact on something positive because I'm going to do that also.
I don't have too much to overreact, positive, I guess, on the positive end. I think it was good to see, Garoppolo come out and hit guys, look really sharp. I was really impressed by that, but that's kind of what I expect from him. The overreaction, so I have two overreactions, all right? The first one is Jimmy Ward. And y'all know me, I'm one of the more, I guess you could say, understanding when it comes to the defensive back position. But I'm almost out of understanding Jimmy Ward. I always talk about how he's not a terrible defensive back. I think he's a solid football player. But at this point, you have to make a play. And he hasn't made any plays. So you can give up, a catch here and there, or, what I'm saying? I'm fine with that. We saw Witherspoon give up a catch, whatever. But don't give up every single catch every time they throw the ball your way. And it's been 4 or 5 times in 2 games, including the bomb for a touchdown. So my overreaction would be, get this nigga the hell out of here. All right, get him out of here. All right, that's my first overreaction. The second overreaction, hold on, I have another bad one. Hold on, what was it? Golly, Jimmy Ward done messed my whole mind up, got me all discombobulated, man.
It's all good. Look, it's all right.
I'll think of what my second one was, but that definitely was my. Oh, I remember. I know what my second one was now. Kendrick Bourne. He's playing dang near all game. He only gets 1 target, 6 yards. I don't want to, look too much into it, but that's, there's a lot of, 1 through 6, and y'all know that's my guy. I don't know what's up with that, but if I was Kendrick Bourne, I'd be overreacting a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So that's my other overreaction. Kendrick Bourne really not getting utilized, and I think everybody had a lot of high hopes from him. And I think he definitely has the talent. And he's been thrown 4 passes in the preseason so far, and he has 4 catches. And then there were another couple that were pass interference. So with what he's been given, he's done well, but it just seems like, he's playing the entire game. In this game, he's not really getting the targets. It's kind of like, what's up with that? So those are my two overreactions.
Croc, thank you. Finally, I can get some protection here with my ass riding Jimmy Ward all season. And last year, I appreciate it. Yo, bro, as soon as I said something in the room tonight about Jimmy Ward, Scott goes to defend him. Oh, he used 2 hands to push off. No, bro, he just kept running. And the receiver just cut back and came back for that first catch. Why? Answer me this. Why on a 3rd and 7 is my man lined up 11 yards off the ball and then goes into a back pedal after and just lets the guy go past the first down line? Is that coverage scheme? I've never seen that. Everybody else is playing up, and Ward is just backing up before the ball is even snapped. Why?
I want to say that they're taught to keep a lot of things in front of them, but we were going back and forth in the group chat today, and they talked a little bit about the whole coaching thing. What's it? I can't remember the saying, but overcoming coaching. and talking about on the defensive side of the ball. And a lot of times you don't want to try to overcome coaching too much on the defensive side of the ball because you'll end up blowing the coverage. But at some point, you know, if people are attacking you, you have to start being more aggressive. You know what I'm saying? And challenge yourself. And I just feel like Ward isn't really challenging himself. It's almost like he's playing it a little too safe and he's giving up stuff. He's not making any plays. So if you're gonna give up some plays, like go out with a bang and try to make something happen. And it seems like he's not. There's nothing. Like it's just completions, touchdown, this and that, big plays, third down. We're gonna go right at you for 12 yards or whatever. And it's unfortunate. And then you got more on, later in the game, playing well 2 weeks in a row. Tavarius Moore has been, I know they called the pass interference on him. He was a little soon on the pass interference, but I like it. Be aggressive. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see about Jimmy. I don't know.
It's going to be hard for the team to cut Jimmy because $8.5 million is a lot of money. Just let go. And I saw someone in the chat earlier say trade him. We as 49er fans have to stop thinking that we can trade trash. Like you can't just trade trash. It don't work that way. It's really hard to find a trade partner for a garbage player, especially when teams know that you're going to cut them. They'll just claim them on waivers. You know what I mean? So it's not easy. It's not going to be easy to trade Jimmy Ward.
Bro, I like Moore.
We were talking earlier, and I was like, yo, you got to ask Eric about that. I was like, I have no idea who's going to be the rotational backup in place of Jimmy Ward. And right away, you were like, Moore. I like what I saw from Moore tonight. And there's Eric seconding what you said. So
I just like his play. He's really aggressive. He's all over the field. He has good hip-to-hip coverage. Like, from what I see, like, I just like him. Like, I don't know what it is about Jimmy, man. I don't know if he's kind of shook because he knows that, like, I mean, I'd be playing a lot better if I knew Sherman was coming in and I wasn't going to be starting at corner. I'd be trying to prove my point that I should be there. It looks like the total opposite from him. Like, he's not trying to prove that he's supposed to be there. So
it's a couple of guys who act like they it's a couple of guys who look like they believe their salaries are going to secure them a roster spot. Jimmy Ward is one of those guys. I'm not going to talk about Tart, but I'll leave that to somebody else later if y'all want to get to that.
No, I want to get on that.
Yeah, I said it. But Steve, the floor is yours, my man. It's time to overreact. Ladies and gentlemen, my man Steve in the building. What's up, man?
What's going on? So my biggest overreaction right now is the starting defense. That's 2 weeks in a row, the first drive, right down the field for a touchdown. I got into it today on Twitter with a couple people saying, hey, they're just playing vanilla defense. They're not blitzing. Well, the offense is playing vanilla too. They're not running any schemes. They're not scheming anything. And we're letting them drive right down the field. We can't stop the pass. We can't stop the run. So you could use we don't have starters. And that was most of the starters the last 2 weeks. You're missing Sherman. You're missing Armstead. But other than that, who are you really missing? To me, it's if we're not outscoring a team, it's going to be some questionable games there against some good offenses.
It sounds like you're running into the same thing that I run into anytime I say something about preseason. If you have a negative critique, everyone has a defense for it. Oh, well, it's just preseason and everything is vanilla. Don't look into it too much. They're not really game planning if you're critiquing the offense. If it's the defense, oh, well, they're not really game planning and trying to scheme things up and bait people. It's just vanilla. Oh, but if we were out there killing it, you see how hype everybody was when Jimmy Garoppolo marched down the field and scored, all of a sudden everything was good then, right? So I just don't understand why we make these excuses for anything negative you have to say about the team. Like, if we went out there and we dominated that game, what preseason? There was a preseason game that just ended. I think it was last night. It was a high-scoring game. It was a pretty one-sided game.
Pittsburgh.
What was that?
Green Bay and Pittsburgh.
Super one-sided. I honestly thought that one of those teams was going to put up over 70 points. And if the Niners had went out and done that, oh my God, they would have sworn that this was good and da-da-da-da. No one would have been saying, oh, it's just preseason. Don't worry, it's just preseason. Not a single fan would have uttered those words. But because we're looking horrible out there, it's a problem. The offense can't run the ball. Now you can sit here and say, "Oh well, not Richburg, McKinnon's out or Breeder's out." When they were in there, they weren't doing shit either, right? So you got those guys who can't do anything. The offensive line, I'm not sold.
Offensive line looked a lot better than it did last week. It did look better this week.
It looked
with
better
the addition of Joshua Garnett.
The right side of the line looked a lot better. I'll say that. But anyway, let me stop. I'm gonna get Nick. The floor is yours, man. It's time for you to overreact, man. What's up? What you got for us?
What? And I gotta steal this one, Croc, because I asked you guys in the room. What the fuck was Tart doing on the touchdown? My man he was playing zone, and everybody else was in man-to-man, and he just literally just walked away from Ellington, and Ellington just literally just walked, 5 steps and just turned around in the end zone. He didn't even run a route.
He said he didn't even run a route.
He did. I'm being serious. He really didn't. You missed it because you had something going on.
Yeah.
But he literally just turned around. Was like, oh, nobody's covering me? Okay. And you just see Tart in the screen just backing off him. Croc, I don't know what happened. Did he get confused as to what they were playing? Or, do you have any idea? It looked like he was trying to play zone, though, right?
Before Eric answered. So Nick asked me, he was like, didn't it look – he was like Tart was playing zone when everyone else was playing man. And I said, how can you determine that a safety – is playing zone? How would you be able to look?
It just looked like how his read, he was going away from the receiver before the ball was even snapped on 4th and 1 or 4th and 2, whatever it was.
Now, Eric, you can say yes or no because this is not my expertise. I'm just a watcher. I'm a casual observer. All right, but there are times where certain players or positions or a side of the field is playing man, and another side or other players are in zone, right?
Right. Okay. So typically in the red zone, especially down there that close, there's a few tips that tells me that they were playing man. One is Ward was playing off. So what that tells me is he doesn't want to get picked. So if he doesn't want to get picked, he's assuming that Tart is in man, locked up in press coverage. So he's off, so they can't do any kind of pick route on him, and he can make a play. So that's my first thing that makes me think that they were playing man and Tart screwed this up somehow. The only other option is the only other thing I can think about is a lot of times down there, when you are in man, you do a combo. But the combo is between 2 guys, but you'll see one with outside leverage, and the other one will probably have inside leverage, and it's kind of like a little bracket. You know what I'm saying? Well, at the snap of the ball, Tart went to the left. So that would throw that whole bracket off. So I really I'm just as clueless as you guys. I watched it again, and it did look like everybody else was playing man. I don't know what the hell Tart was doing. I don't know. You think it's the money? He got paid and he's tripping now?
It's not just the money. Not only did he get the money and he feels like this position is secure, Eric Reed's not there pressing him for that position now. You got to look at the guys who are taking a step back right now. There's no pressure on these guys. Who's taking Tart's spot? Tart 100% feels like his position secure.
It's definitely not Chancellor James because I watched him and he's missing some tackles. He had a chance to stop the running back for no gain, and he just missed the tackle, and the running back ended up getting 8, 9 more yards. It's not. We might miss Eric Reed. I don't know. We'll see how Tart how Tart picks it up, and he was good. He was good last year, so it's not like this is something that you could see coming. He played strong last year. So I know you said people were like, oh, it's just preseason. It is preseason as far as the overall score. It really doesn't matter who wins or loses, but how guys play, that's not, oh, it's just preseason. You want to see guys play well, and you want to see guys improve from week to week. Last week it was okay, first game, these guys together. Okay, you might see some things where, okay, he didn't know. Like McGlinchey, you could say, oh, maybe he didn't know if the guy was going to pick up the stunt or whatever. So, you can make these excuses for guys. But come week 2, you want to see, okay, do they get better from there? And so far, just looking at the secondary, they let the guys march down the field again and score. So that would be a little bit more concerning to me. And this time it had nothing to do with Richard Sherman not being out there. Last week we could blame, oh, well, there's Ward out there, and that wouldn't be, that would be Richard Sherman. This time is like they did what we call a quick game. That was a quick game. Everything is 1, 2, 3. Let's get the ball out. 1, 2, 3. Get the ball out, and then move the ball downfield pretty much with ease.
Ellington was a 49er killer tonight, and I can't wait for the tweet that Ellington's going to send to Nick again. I know y'all saw Ellington already late.
Ellington dropped like 4 balls in the first, and they still were able to score.
And he's the one who got the score, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't like he was doing masterful stuff. I'm serious. How many passes did he drop?
I don't know. Did he kill us with the starters?
He did drop one in the end zone.
I don't think he killed us.
He was the sole purpose they got down there and scored.
Yeah, who was covering him?
Who cares? I can't wait for Ellington to tweet you and light your ass up, bro. I can't.
Yo, I'm already still getting you salty as fuck tweets. Like, it's all good.
I can't wait.
I didn't say anything. I just said I'm surprised he didn't get hurt on it. He beat a third string, like a third at best DB. I said I'm not salty. I'm thankful that he's not with us anymore. I'm not. He wouldn't be touching the field with our receivers here.
He beat our backup DB and he beat our starting safety.
Yeah, he definitely did.
Yeah. All right, so here's my overreactions. I got a couple of them. I'm going to try to be positive also, but I'm going to save the positive for later. Ali asked us a question a couple of videos ago about if Jimmy Garoppolo led the league in yards and touchdowns, what does that mean for the team? And my answer was, I've seen Drew Brees do exactly that, and that team was like 9-7 because the defense couldn't stop anybody. My overreaction is that's possible for this 49ers team based off of what I've seen from this defense. I am not confident that whether Richard Sherman comes back or not, we don't know how he's going to play. Akello, I got some confidence in, but the safeties aren't giving me a ton of confidence. And if Richard Sherman isn't as good as we hope he is, this secondary is going to be a problem. And there's no pass rush. I can see if we had pass rush that could help the secondary out. We don't have that, man. And without a really good lockdown secondary, quarterbacks are going to have all day long to pick us apart. I did see some pressure from, the linemen, the 4 down linemen. We saw Blair doing his thing. Taylor. I know Buckner's going to be Buckner. I'm hoping when Armstead comes back, he steps up. But
there was not only you guys said penalties tonight. Not only penalties though, there was a ton of missed tackles, open field tackles. Adrian Colbert whiffed and missed somebody. Went downfield for another 20 yards, 15 yards. Chancellor James missed a bunch. These interceptions that we should have had. There was 2 picks that we should have had that were missed opportunities. And then penalties on top of that. I really think we beat ourselves and we looked very sloppy tonight on the defensive side of the ball. Because even that first drive when they scored a touchdown, we had 3 penalties that kept the drive going. Like 3 missed tackles that kept the drive going that could have shut them out. And on Jimmy Garoppolo's second drive, Trent Taylor missed the ball, dropped the pass, which is abnormal, but he dropped it. He should have caught it.
But that, the ball got to him, but the defender was right there on him. Like that was
great
good
coverage.
football.
Great
play.
coverage.
Great
coverage. That was good coverage. I wouldn't put that on.
Great coverage. Yeah, it was great coverage. But the fact that we couldn't get a running game really killed us tonight too. And I mean, that's obviously one of my overreactions is piss poor tackling on the defensive side of the ball. Tart's play. Jimmy Ward's just dookie. I'm just going to continue saying he's dookie for the rest of the year until he's gone because I've been saying it for who knows how long. Hopefully I don't get no more slack anymore. But overall, I mean, there was not many positives to take from this game.
There was some positives. I got some
but
positives.
Not many.
I can give you at least 5 of them. I can give you at least 5, but I'm not there yet. Let me continue.
There's definitely positives. There's definitely positives.
Yeah. I saw a lot of positives. At least 5, but let me continue to get my negative shit off real quick, okay? Jimmy Garoppolo cannot win football games by himself. The offense passing the ball is not going to be able to do it. We can't have offense, defense. Offense is 2 things. It's running. Well, it's 3 things. It's blocking, running, and passing. Right now, I'm only confident in one of those 3 on the offensive side of the ball. Defense is pass defense, run stopping, and pass rush.
You're not confident in any of them.
I mean, I'm confident in Akello. I like Akello out there. I was confident in the safeties until tonight. I'm seeing a lot of, like, I guess they're mental errors.
A lot,
you know,
of
like
errors.
I don't know. Like, it's hard for me to be confident in that. Special teams was up and down, and so that's going to take me to my next overreaction. Kyle Shanahan. We saw what he did in the Super Bowl with the Falcons. Yeah, I'm going back that far.
Come on.
Clock management and things like that were an issue for him. At the end of this game, after they called that bullshit touchdown on us, he should have told whoever was receiving the kick, fair catch, take it at the 25, and don't lose a single second. Instead, Bolden Jr. comes out trying to play hero ball, doesn't get to the 25, and eats up, 7 seconds of the clock? And then when he catches the pass, instead of getting down, knowing we got timeouts, he keeps running like he was going to get in the end zone. Like, what the fuck?
That's your boy.
Why wasn't Kyle Shanahan trying to play for?
First off, even whatchamacallit didn't think he was coming out. Dunbar.
Yeah,
Dunbar
no one thought he
"Wait,
was coming out.
What are you doing? You're coming out? Like, take the ball there, take it on the 25. You're going to get at least another play doing that. And, I mean, you had Nick Mullins in there, who should be the number 2 quarterback. That's my other overreaction. CJ Beathard needs to be cut.
Yeah. I agree with Anthony's take on there. So, all right, I'm going to ask Steve a question here, okay? I want to get your thoughts on Fred Warner tonight. I'm gonna spin this shit around to the positives. I want to get your thoughts on Fred Warner tonight.
For his first game in there, I thought he looked pretty good. He stood out to me. He was making tackles. He was around the ball. But you need that. He's going to be filling in for Foster when he's not in there. So you needed to see that out of him tonight, and he showed it. He still got, he's going to have the rookie mistakes here and there. I didn't really catch it from what I seen, but I seen him around the ball a lot. I seen the 48 around. So he looked good to me.
I agree with you, man. He got the fumble recovery. My man, he like you said, if the play was going on, he was around it. He was very close to it. I absolutely love what I saw from him. My overreaction is not only is he going to be filling in for Reuben Foster, he's taking Malcolm Smith's job whenever he comes back. Salary be damned. I like what I saw from that young man. Just one game, I know. But again, that's why we're overreacting. My next question is going to be for Anthony. What did you think of our right guard, our second right guard, and Joshua Garnett tonight?
Man, I thought he was okay as a whole. I mean, I was trying my best to focus on both guard positions, and they looked pretty good. I would say that Garnett did look a lot better than Cooper. And who else was in there for him? Person started first? I mean, Person's average at best. But overall, I think between the three, even though Cooper kind of got the fourth quarter, I thought Garnett looked better than the other two. He was holding his own. Yeah, there's a couple of videos where he did get beat, and he got beat pretty bad. Gave up a huge pressure to Beathard, but then again, I mean, the whole offense wasn't really functioning. So you can't fully blame it on him, but as a whole, I would say Garnett was the best looking compared to the other right guards. I think he showed a lot of progress. It didn't look like that knee issue he had was bothering him in any way. He didn't look like he was slow. Again, he missed a block, and that's fine. That happens. But as a whole, he looked a lot healthier than he has in the past, and he looks like he helped improve his chances of getting a 53, making the 53.
Real quick, guys, give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. Do you remember if the answer is yes, give me a thumbs up. If the answer is no, give me a thumbs down. And for the viewers also, Nick is watching the chat. Type yes or no. Did Joshua Garnett play in the preseason last year? You guys remember? I don't remember. He didn't, right? I think he got injured like in training camp. So this is my first time, his first game in this system. And he looked to me like the best guard we had on the field all night long, even going back to last year. Bro, my overreaction for Joshua Garnett is he is the starter. Book it. Joshua Garnett is the starter. All right. So I think it's time to give the phone number out. I want to get the fans in. Guys, before
Ryan Chillen wants to jump on video.
Yeah, all right, I know that. I saw his little notepad. I know Ryan's got a RV. He's got his notes and everything that he wants to run over things. He's gonna have to make the most of his 2 minutes. Eric, real quick, I see you just popping back in. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Yes, no. Do you remember if Joshua Garnett got any snaps last year, or did he get injured before preseason? No, you don't remember?
He got injured before preseason.
That's what I thought. This was his first game in this system. And if you ask me, he looked like the best guard we've had on the field.
Lost your volume, Mike.
Mic check. Can you guys hear me? We back? Thumbs up. All right. All right. Here we go. I don't know why that keeps happening. All right. So let's start getting these viewers in here. You want to give out the phone number first, or you want to go to people who want to join us on video?
We can get the phone number out, and we'll go with the video first.
All right. So send Ryan the link. All right. So Ryan, we're gonna send you the link. We're gonna get you on here while we're waiting for that to happen, guys. To the panel, Anthony, Eric, and Steve. Anything else you guys want to touch on tonight, man? I want to get you guys overall feel like if you guys had to give a record prediction tonight, I know it's super premature, but based off of what you're seeing right now, like just give me a feel of this team. Like I'm still kind of torn. I'm in the middle. It's going to be 8-8. I'm confident we're going to be okay because I like how Jimmy moved the ball. I will give us 10 wins, or Jimmy ain't going to be enough. I got us at 4. Like give me a win-loss record real quick. Anthony, Eric, and then Steve.
I think right now I'm going to more follow towards the 8-8 path, but the way the schedule looks, it is too daunting. So I'm going to give him a comfortable 9-7. And just a quick tidbit about the preseason. The preseason, just remember, is pointing out the bad and not the good. It's nice to look at what went well, but it's more important to focus on the bad, and we need to point out the weaknesses with this team so we can figure out what will be the big problem going forward.
Point taken, man. You got to weigh it out right in the preseason. So I'm with you on that. All right, Eric, give me a record prediction. If there's anything else you want to say before we get to the guest, Ryan.
It's hard to kind of just put a record on it just yet. I would like to see the dress rehearsal, but I'm still, if Jimmy G plays like that every game, which I don't know if he will, but I mean, we're still definitely in the mix for a 9-7 type season. If he plays like that, Jimmy G continues to play like that, but that's tough to kind of play at that high of a level for an entire season. But another thing I wanted to point out was Dante Pettis, man. Like, seems like this dude keeps getting open deep, and you kind of pair that with Marquise Goodwin, somebody that also can stretch the field, and they're doing it different ways. Pettis is doing it with more like routes and craftiness and getting open deep, like really deep downfield, where Goodwin does it more with just pure speed. So I think that's going to be something to look forward to and see if he can eventually kind of push Pierre Garçon out of there. We'll see. We'll see how that works. But, man, Pettis is looking kind of good, though. I love how he creates immediate separation.
All right. Okay. I hear you, man. Yo, I really like Pettis, but I guess I wish he was 4 inches taller so we could have saved Jimmy Garoppolo's interception. Oh, all right, Steve. Floor is yours, man. Yeah. I'm petty as fuck right now. Yeah. I'm that guy tonight. All right. Go ahead, Steve.
You would have blamed it on Trent Taylor if it was Trent Taylor.
No, because Trent Taylor's perfect. He can't do any wrong. So
no, you would have blamed it on him.
No, I would never blame it on Trent Taylor. He's perfect. Trent Taylor's perfect. He's awesome. He's my favorite.
All right, I'm going to sit around the same as everybody else. I'm going to go 9-7 right now. To me, like I said, the defense looks too suspect. I don't care. You could put Sherman back in there. You could put Armstead back in there. Armstead can't stay healthy for one, and we don't know what Sherman we're getting. That was the starters tonight, and that was no DeAndre Hopkins, no Will Fuller, and you're going to play the rest of the season. We got to play the Rams. The Vikings got a good offense. You're going to go up. So, yeah, you're going to have to outscore teams, in my opinion, until I see it. But even when the defense is fully healthy, they're not a top 5 defense. They still got rebuilding to do on that side. And it's going to be some shootout games that you're going to have to just outscore them. If we don't outscore them, we're not going to beat them.
I agree with you, man. this defense has got to do a lot of stepping up. You know, normally a second year in the defense, the teams will get better. But there's a lot of changes to this 49ers team on the defensive side of the ball this year. There's a lot of players that are going to be contributors that weren't even around last year for significant parts of the year. You know what I mean? So this is going to be tough. What I do like about you guys saying 9-7 is that you're more confident than you are afraid, but it's pretty close. So that's pretty telling. So Nick, I'm going to ask you the same question, man. Based off of what you've seen in preseason, this isn't your final roster or your final record prediction. That's not what the exercise was for the people watching. Based off of what you've seen so far in the preseason, if things were to continue this way, what do you think the record is going to be?
7-9, maybe 6-10. That's being honest right now.
Okay. All right. So, hey, look, someone in here is named Tyrann Matthew. Someone in the chat.
Matthew.
I know. Shut up. I was just being a dick. I looked it up. All right, Ryan. Time is here, man. Your 2 minutes. I saw your notepad. I know you're ready to go ahead and get this off your chest, man. The floor is yours for 120 seconds. Let's do this thing, man. I want to see what you got. Let's go.
All right. It's nothing too crazy, but I want to try and stay balanced in the positive and the negative. So first I want to start with, and I didn't hear his name a lot while you guys were talking so far in here, and I'm really surprised. DJ Jones, man. He played like a monster. He did. He was everywhere. Run stopping. He forced, I think it was 2 fumbles. I don't know if one of them didn't end up. Also, disclaimer, I missed the second quarter because I was at work while the game was going on, so I was kind of bobbing in and out watching, so I missed some stuff. So some of the stuff might be off. And then on the negative side, and I don't even know if it's an overreaction. I'm sure everyone might agree at this point. Joe Williams, man, he has got to go as far away from the organization as he can. Get out. Go. It's a bust. I hate to count a guy out in week 2 of preseason. That's messed up, but it's looking really bad. One thing I touched last week on was the Jimmy to Goodwin connection, and it looks really strong still. Jimmy just looks sharp overall. Our run blocking is horrible. Horrible. No matter who's in there. But other than that, it wasn't an exciting game, but I think we did improve in some levels. I think the linebackers played well. Obviously, a lot of missed tackles. Eli Harold is another one that is just in my head. I can't understand why that guy gets as many reps as he does. He blows so many tackles, and his angling is fucking horrible. It drives me crazy, man. And I kind of stuck up for him last episode, so now I kind of feel bad turning on him. But he tonight proved me completely wrong. But other than that, yeah, it wasn't great. And if I'm gonna go with the record thing before I hop out of here, I would say like 8-8, 7-9 as well. And the only reason I give us that many wins is because the NFL is offensively driven now, and our offense does look pretty solid so far. As long as Jimmy can play like that on a regular basis, but that's about it, man.
I appreciate the thoughts, man. Really, really, really do. Thanks for taking the time and putting your notes together so you can jump on here with us, man. You summed it up, and you're right. I can't believe we didn't mention DJ Jones, but I wasn't done running down.
We didn't do positives yet.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't run down my positives yet. And so let's give out the phone number really quick. You got the number there, Nick?
Yeah, it's 628-888-3443.
We're gonna type that phone number into the chat. So I know a lot of people who are watching don't want to pop in on video. So this is going to be your opportunity. You guys have 2 minutes, the same that we gave Ryan. You guys got 2 minutes to call in. You don't have to. All right, I'll do it. 628-888-3443. All right, 2 minutes for anybody who wants to call in. Do we want to start the positives while we're waiting for people to call in?
Yeah,
because DJ Jones was a good one. Like I've said 1,000 times, Joshua Garnett's probably my player of the game, man. I really, really like what I saw from him. It's his first game in this system, man. Like that's great.
Yo, I'm gonna go to sleep tonight hearing Garnett's name because that's all right. Mike's been saying all night.
Think about it, feel it. I want you to smell Joshua Garnett when you go to sleep tonight, bro.
I don't want to smell some big hairy man going to sleep.
Ronald Blair looked good tonight, right? Sheldon Day, he had a very slow start. Someone's coming in. All right, so here we go. Let's get this first caller on. Hold on. Let's get the speaker turned on so we can hear him. We're going to do a mic check real quick. All right.
Nick with Nothing But Niners. You're online.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
You guys hear him over there?
All right. So if I was to take away anything from this game, one, I would say that the line I think this game is somewhat. I don't think it's very accurate on the way we could judge. Let's just say DJ Jones, and let's just say. Well, I don't know because remember that Merciless didn't play. You know, Cushing obviously didn't play. Watt didn't play. Clowney didn't play. So, I mean, imagine how the game would have been if they did. But also, what I want to say, though, Joe Williams, in my opinion, he doesn't fit the system. Jimmy Ward is a cancer to this team. I don't know why people stick up for him. He's I don't get it. I don't get what there is to love about him. Every play, you see him get beat. I mean, they talked about him a lot in practice. He's doing so good in practice. But, I mean, every time I see him, it's almost like he wants to fuck up for some reason. I don't know. I think he's getting paid by the rest of some shit. I don't know. I think he's a part of this game to just fucking help us lose. But other than that, TJ Beathard needs to get out of here, too. Tired of his shit. I don't care how high he was drafted. He's obviously shit. If the third string quarterback's playing that good, what the fuck is he doing? You know, and then I would have loved to see Alfred Morris play. I would have definitely loved that. But I guess we'll see that in the next game. What else? Shanahan, I'm starting to see a problem with him getting players that he's you know, been around obviously and coached before. So I would like to see him more focus on new players that he could develop, because obviously Joe Williams, TJ Beathard, has definitely been very bad picks for him already. So I would love for him to develop other players instead of focusing someone like on Garcon or Alfred Morris. And then, Fred Warner definitely deserves player of the game, in my opinion. He did everything excellent. You know, I mean, he read his plays. He was around the ball. I could definitely see if Foster fucks up, he is going to be that substitute. If not, then he's going to play next to Foster. Coyle just isn't going to do anything, really. And other than that, let me think. Was there another thing? Oh, I'd rather have Locke than Pinion, definitely. Because Pinion, he just, I don't know.
Wait.
I don't really fuck Pinion that much.
Wait, did you just say you'd rather have Locke than Pinion?
Well, the only reason why is because
Hang
Pinion
up.
doesn't really strike
Hang
me.
up.
I mean, we did have Andy Lee, so I totally get it when someone says, how could you expect anyone to play like Andy Lee? Totally get it. But I don't know why. Pinion just isn't consistent. If you watch him throughout the regular season.
Locke, hold on. Pinion averages 48 yards per punt.
No.
Hold on.
No. I'm saying he's inconsistent. His average could be whatever it is, but you watch him in very big games. I mean, not to say we had big games last year. I'm not saying that, but if you watch him during certain games, it seems like when we were very close, he always fucked up. I mean, I'm not sitting here and saying he's complete garbage. I just wish that we can just get a way better puncher than Pinion. Yeah. I don't know. I guess I'm around Andy Lee too much. I guess.
Yeah, I think you need to go back and look at Pinion and look at the kickoffs Locke had tonight, because he couldn't make it past the 10-yard line.
Yeah.
Well, they really did. None of them did anything special tonight.
Well, I'm just saying kick wise. I mean, I'd rather have Pinion in there. But give your name. We got another call coming through, so give your name, and if you're on Twitter or anything where that you can be followed, and then so we can get you some.
Name is Steven, and then as far as Twitter goes, I stopped using Twitter. I need to actually make another account. I haven't been active on that. But anyways, good job, guys, with all the content. Definitely going to start watching this more. And keep up the good work. And remember to judge every fucking thing intelligently. Don't play favoritism like fucking Jimmy Ward. Just fucking tell it how it is. And that's about it.
All right, Steve. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for the call.
All right, guys. So listen, we missed like 2 calls there. We're sorry about that. All right, the line is open. You guys can give us a call. We got to stick to the 2 minutes thing, though, Nick. We're going to have to be a little bit mean with people if we have to, because We're opening up to people who are watching.
I just told him I'll call
There's
back.
a lot of viewers, yeah. So you guys give us a call back.
Wait, hold on. Lock over opinion though, guys. Can anybody agree with that?
Guys, you guys can take yourselves off mute and speak freely. If I had the phone in my hand, I'd have hung the fuck up on him. There's no
Hell no.
I'm pretty sure Pinion kicked it inside the 20 way more than Locke did tonight.
All right, I'm gonna call this guy back real quick.
Not only that, but the kickoffs. Like Locke couldn't reach the goal line for the kickoffs. So Nick is returning calls. He's not even waiting for people to call back. He's returning calls.
Well, I texted him. He said okay.
That's aggressive, bro. That's aggressive. Don't call me, bro. No, I'm just...
Hello?
All right, you're on with Nothing But Niners, man. What's your name?
My name is Brian.
All right, Brian. Where you from, man?
I'm from San Jose, but I live in Arizona.
Oh, he's in enemy territory. Represent, baby. Okay, let's give me.
Oh, yeah, all day, every day.
Give me the good stuff, man. I want to hear the overreaction. What's your thoughts on tonight's game?
I agree with one of your friends about Joe Williams. I think it's time to let him go. I know that was Shanahan's draft crush, but he's just a north and south runner. He doesn't have a lot of wiggles. And I think in Shanahan's offense, if your line is not blocking well enough, you got to be elusive. He just doesn't have that elusiveness. I'd rather have Nichols over Williams, to be honest with you.
Man, we're 0-for-2 tonight for Joe Williams.
Well, okay, so no, you keep going, because we're gonna stick to the 2-minute thing. So you got another minute, bro. Give us everything you got right now, man. Okay.
Another guy I think that we need to see more of, and I'm kind of disappointed was Richie James. I don't want to see him with the 3s and 4s. I want to see him against the 1s. I want to see some of our young players play against the 1s. I think Jimmy Ward's got to go too. I know he picked up his option, but he's just not cutting it at cornerback. If we were going to keep him, I'd rather keep him as a safety depth or something behind the free safety, but not as corner. I'd rather give Tamarius Moore a chance, play DJ Reed a little bit more. I love what Josh Garnett did. He really surprised me. I thought he played very well. I thought he's probably the best player on the offensive line tonight. I think if he continues to get the reps and get the confidence, he'll solidify the right guard position. Another guy I want to see more of too is Dante Pettis. He's always open.
10 seconds.
All the time. Deep passes, intermediate routes. We need to get our young guys. I don't think I think we could be a playoff team, but if not, we might as well just play the young guys and see what we got and get them ready. Because if we don't, we're just, we're wasting their time, we're wasting talent, and we got a lot of talent this season. We need to play.
Brian, definitely agree there with all of those statements. But go ahead and give a shout out to whoever you want, and let everybody know where you're at on social media.
If you want.
Oh, I'm good, man. I'm out here in the AZ, representing the Bay Area. Bred and born in San Jose, and I understand all my life. I love watching you guys. You guys dropping out a lot of knowledge, man, and I appreciate it.
All right, Brian, man. Thanks for calling in, and enjoy the rest of your night.
You're welcome. You too.
All right, so here's I want to get you guys. I'm gonna go down the panel here. All right, I'm gonna start with Steve. We'll go with RV. Then we got Eric, and then we got Anthony over here. I want to get you guys' thoughts on the run game because I want to be clear here. I don't think Joe Williams looked good. I think Joe Williams missed a couple of opportunities and things like that. However, I'm not quite sure it's all on the running backs. I don't think the running game at all looked good, and I think a lot of that has to do with the offensive line. So I want to get your guys' opinions on it. Nick, you'll have the final say. But Steve, man, your thoughts on the run game. I mean, a lot of people attacking Joe Williams. Do you think it's fair or what? Like, give me your thoughts, man.
Well, to me, Joe Williams just didn't look good, but I mean, neither did McNichols tonight. He looked great. Last week, he only had 3 carries, but like I said in the group chat, he had the best 3 carries of the night last week. This week, it seemed like they weren't creating holes. I think McNichols only averaged about 2.8 yards a carry. I think he had 10 carries for 28 yards. Williams didn't do nothing. I don't think Mostert even carried the ball tonight. And Jeffrey Wilson didn't look too bad, but like you said, he's going up against 3rd and 4th stringers. But it just seems like that offensive line is not creating the holes for the running backs to get through. I don't know if they need more gelling or what it is, but they're not making the holes, and nobody's really standing out to take that number 3 job. And McKinnon and Breida didn't look good last week as well either.
I agree with you, man. All right, RV, you want to jump in on this real quick? Your thoughts on the running back position tonight, and Williams in particular. A lot of people giving him a hard time, man. He wasn't good, but I can't put all the onus on him, especially. Go ahead. I'll give it to you. Go ahead.
No, and I agree 1,000%. I mean, and I think we're all going to harp on the same thing, so I don't want to talk too much about it. But our O-line is just as much to blame as the running backs. But like he did mention as well, Wilson did come in, and it was against third and fourth string, but he was getting more yards after contact than Joe Williams was, even with the line still blocking as bad as it was. So I still think that speaks a lot about Joe Williams' ability. And they said his mind wasn't there, so maybe that's what it is. I don't know what it is, but our O-line is definitely as much to blame as the backs.
Absolutely, man. And I told you, I was like, yo, who is Wilson? Like, where did he come from? Why wasn't he playing all along? But
you said he was a camp body.
Yeah, man. I had him cut when I did my running back breakdown. But, I mean, he came in and looked good. Eric, man, your thoughts, man. Running backs, are we judging them fairly? Should we be a little bit more patient? I mean, what do you think, man?
I think we should be more patient, more with the offensive line, just because they kind of have to gel together a little bit more. They've been kind of in and out with injuries and things like that. This is our first time seeing Garnett, first time seeing Cooper. But one thing I will say is I thought that McKinnon, not McKinnon, 33.
Williams?
No, number 33.
McNichols.
Yeah, McNichols. Sorry, CTE. All right, but anyways, McNichols, yeah, bro, for real, I just be having like these super brain dead things. Y'all know I know every player, and sometimes I don't know. But anyways, McNichols, I thought for the most part he ran well. I thought he had some good cutbacks. I thought he took yards, when it was there. One thing I did notice from both running backs is they are not, and I'm 100% confident with when I say this, those running backs are nothing like Breda and McKinnon. Just from what I've seen from Breda, just from what I've seen from McKinnon, they run strong, they're quick, they're shifty, they have way more explosiveness. I didn't see that from the running backs today. And with Joe Williams, we can say some things, the offensive line didn't help, and I agree on every play. On some plays that the offensive line didn't help, but there were plays when they did block very well, and he just ran straight out of bounds. Wasn't able to, put his foot in the ground, wasn't able to make somebody miss an open field. And those are the things that McKinnon gives you. Those are the things that Breda will give you. So that's what I saw. I just it was just clear to me today that these running backs aren't McKinnon or Breda. I'm not going to judge our backs off last week. 3 carries by McKinnon where there was really nothing there. Like 2 carries by Breda. But just from an overall body perspective, those 2 running backs are hands down our 2 best running backs on the team.
I am not with you on saying McKinnon's our best running back on the team because I haven't seen him do shit as far as being a running back. But I do like Breda's.
I didn't say he was our best running back. I said those are our 2 best running backs, him and Breda.
Right. So okay.
I've watched games like you put on the game and you just see how he moves, how he runs and stuff like that, and then you watch the running backs today. It's a totally different skill set that he brings in than what I saw from these guys. And I like some of the things that McNichols did, but you can see that he definitely has a lack of explosiveness that Breda and McKinnon both give you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So those carries that are 3 yards, 4 yards, if he's a little bit more explosive, like a McKinnon and Breda, that might be 10, 15 yards, especially if you make somebody miss. And I didn't see that. I didn't see that from McNichols, but I think he's okay.
All right. No, I get what you're saying. And that wasn't like just, I wasn't trying to debate or argue with you or anything like that. What I was saying is that I want to see McKinnon do it here before I say he's better than the other people I've seen on this team. I've seen Breda do it. If you had to ask me right now today who the best running back is, the ball carrier on this team is, I'm going to say it's Breda. Based off of what I've seen so far.
You had him cut before you even seen anything.
And I'm okay with being wrong. I don't give a shit. I'm okay with being wrong. Like it was a prediction before I saw a single snap. I'm not that guy. I made a prediction, and I said that based off of salary and how people are talking, Breda is going to be the poor man's version of McKinnon. That's what we all expected, right? I'm alone in that expectation. And so I said we should cut Breida if we have the poor man's version of one guy and the actual version of the other guy. Why are we keeping the poor man's version? So we should cut Breida. That was my logic behind it. But I haven't seen McKinnon live up to the hype yet. I'm okay with saying that. It was a prediction I made based off of not seeing shit. I'm okay with that. That's the point of making those predictions early on.
Emoji.
And that's why we do this thing, and that's why we watch preseason, so we can say, hey, this guy is not who I thought he was, or this guy is better than I thought he was. That's what this is all about. People can't be, oh, well, you said this 2 years ago about this guy before he was drafted. And why do people do that shit? Like, what are you accomplishing by you can't go back now? Oh, you're not allowed to like him because you said you thought he was going to get cut.
No, I didn't say that. I was just saying that's kind of drastic going from having cut to the best running back on the team.
As far as the people I've seen carry the ball on this team, who's done it better than Breida? On this team right now.
Nobody, not even Hyde.
Maybe Alfred Morris.
Not even Hyde.
Alfred Morris played in the system. We can go back and relate to that. And I would say Alfred Morris carried the ball better in this system than Breida did. His 2 years with Shanahan and Washington, but we haven't seen him do it here. You know what I'm saying, with this offensive line. And so going based off of what I've seen, Breida's the number one right now, in my opinion, but we got to see what happens later. So, Anthony, I want to go ahead and give you the floor, man. How are we judging these running backs, man? Are we doing it all wrong? What's up?
Okay, just to throw it out there with the Breida thing, let's keep in mind it's okay to have a second back that has a similar skill set to Jet. For example, Tevin Coleman was almost no different than Devontae Freeman when Kyle Shanahan was in Atlanta. So that's just something to keep in mind. But outside of that, to jump on what Croc said, it almost seemed like Joe Williams, when he was bouncing outside, he was afraid to take on contact. And you need to learn to take a hit in the NFL, and it seemed like Williams was afraid to do that, especially when he got his chances to bounce outside. He had a couple moments of open field or one-on-one, and he just ran outside, and that was the most frustrating thing. I mean, Jeff Wilson looked better than Williams. Jeff Wilson almost looked as good as McNichols. And I don't even care if it's the third and fourth strings. Right now, these backs tonight just didn't impress in any way. CJ Beathard looked better running, and he had the longest run of the night for, 19 yards on a zone read, which we haven't seen in years. So if our backup quarterback is running better than our actual running backs, then we have a problem. And I understand it takes time for the O-line to gel, and, yeah, they need to work together, and obviously, there's a lot of communication that needs to go down. But for the time being, our running backs aren't impressive. And, yeah, it seems like Jet and Breida are the solid 1 and 2, quote, solid. But who knows? It's totally up in the air. So, overall, Williams was not impressive. If I had to pick one running back to cut right now, it would honestly be Williams, because it shows me a lot that he doesn't want to take on contact. And if he can't do that, even if it's just a one-on-one, he just decides to run out of bounds, then Williams is the problem, point blank.
Yeah. All right, so I guess Williams is going based off of what y'all saying. Y'all killing him. I love the overreactions here, man. Listen, guys, I want to get this line going. I know that Jared said something about when he called, the number was busy, so that means we can't give you a call back. The missed calls that we had, was there only just the one guy that called multiple times? All right, so Jared, if you're still out there, you're still watching me, we want to get you on here, so give us a call. The number, guys, 628-888-3443, man. Go ahead and pick up the phone. Give us a call. We want to hear your guys' opinions. Fia, I want to get you to call, man. It's preseason. I get it, but after this game, I'm saying this team is not winning the Super Bowl. Salah gave up 10 points the entire game, but defense was horrific to watch. I mean, I'm not confident in this defense right now, but I know we're not seeing scheme. Like, there's certain things that you have to take into account. So, like, how everyone's hating on Jimmy Ward's hate is justified, because that was, you are fucking up your personal assignment. That supersedes scheme. You know what I mean? That transcends scheme. If I got to cover you, it doesn't matter what everyone else is doing in the scheme of things. I'm covering you. Jimmy Ward couldn't do that. So I think the Jimmy Ward hate is justified. Oh, the call's coming in? All right, so let's get the speaker back on for the caller. All right, you were on with Nothing But Niners. How you doing? State your name. Nothing. I don't hear anything. Let's try it again.
Can you hear me?
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, I'm just leaving the game.
Oh, you were there live in person, huh? You in Houston?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm in Houston. I was just by the field. I got a chance to meet John Lynch and Jed York and Jimmy G and all of them. I got good footage of it too.
Damn, you should have let me know. I would have asked you to put a note in John Lynch's hand that said C.J. Beathard should be number 3.
Exactly, man. I was just saying that, man. His job is in jeopardy, bro.
Okay,
because
Collins
moved that ball down the field like it wasn't nothing. That 2-minute drill.
Talk your shit, man. The floor is yours, man. Let us know your thoughts. We want you to overreact. I want to hear everything you got to say. You got. I'm going to give you another minute and a half because you were telling us about some other stuff. So I'm glad you were at the game. Tell us what you think.
Yeah, man. Like I said before, my observations, man. That number one, that was C.J. Beathard. He seems timid in the pocket. Collins is kind of cool. He can maneuver and, he avoids the pressure and he moves the ball down the field. And another thing I know is that Jimmy Ward cannot play corner. Man, that dude is trash at corner.
I love the Jimmy Ward.
You know what's crazy, man? Where's Eric? Is Eric still here? What's crazy about the whole Jimmy Ward thing is, I swear to God, he was not this bad before. Like, I don't.
Man, that dude, I mean, you know what? He might be an okay safety, but corner, no. Dude, I can get out there and do better than that. I can get beat and make it look better than that. I mean, and you don't even have to give me $8 million.
Oh, man.
I'm like, come on, dude. So they got to come up with somebody else. Somebody else got to be the backup corner because he ain't it.
I hear you, man.
And I like him, and I want him to work, but he's hurting the team. I mean, Texans got too many first downs on us tonight, and they threw at Jimmy most of the time when they did it. So, I mean, it is what it is, but the Texans they gave them that game because he was down. Dude was down at the 5. He got contacted at the 5. If anything, that game should have went overtime. But they wanted to give the Texans their little preseason game and whatever. But it's all good. But I came out on top, got to meet some of the players, got some gloves. McGlinchey threw me a towel. It was a good time though, man.
All right.
And the future's bright. The future's bright for us.
I like that. Stay optimistic, man, and stay repping the enemy territory. I love that, man. And make sure if you're not already, subscribe to the channel for us. All right, man. What's your name? And do you have a social media you want people to follow you on?
Yeah, man. My name is David O'Neal. I'm on Instagram at O'Neal David J. That's ONEAL DAVID J. I'm going to put a lot of the footage, the gaming footage and pics that I took tonight. And I was also at the practice this past week as well. So I got a lot of that posted as well. So feel free to check me out.
Will do, buddy. Thanks for calling in and have a safe travel home and enjoy the rest of your night.
All right, you guys too. Y'all take care, man.
Yes,
all
sir.
right, man. Steve, I got to talk to you, my man. I got a Texans fans calling in, okay? I don't know if I'm able to control myself, so I'm going to depend on you to help me out in this one, okay?
Do it.
All right, so the Texans fan, I just gave you the number. It's on you, man. I'm waiting for the phone to ring. I don't know what to say to a Texans fan right now. You know what? The Texans had a bad fucking game too. I'm sorry. This was a horrible game to watch. And I expected it because I said it. That's the crazy part. Like, I said from the rip, I was like, we shouldn't expect a good game because these two teams have been practicing against each other for the week.
Yeah.
I said that this is going to be a low-scoring game. It's not going to be exciting to watch.
That's probably why Watt and them didn't play because they got reps in.
Right, because they knew. They already knew. You know what I mean? There was no need to put these guys out there and expose them to anything. But why does C.J. Beathard get so many snaps? So while we're waiting for this phone call, Steve, we're going to ask the panel this. Steve, Eric, RV, Anthony, why do you guys think C.J. Beathard got so many snaps? Forget how bad he looked. Forget how good he looked if you liked his play. Why did he get so many snaps?
Where he was drafted.
That's it? Okay. I respect that.
He's a third-round pick? Am I right? Third?
And they traded to get him there, yeah.
Yeah, so they're going to give him every opportunity, I think, to win that backup. Nick Mullins was a practice squad undrafted guy. To me, he's looked way better, obviously, to everybody, but To me, it's all the draft pick, the investment they put in them. They're not ready to boot him yet. My opinion.
Okay, before we let the rest of you guys finish, we got the other caller coming in. This is the Texans fan calling in. You are on with Nothing But Niners. What's your name and where are you from?
What's going on? My name is Wink. I'm from Houston, Third Coast Sports TV. That's my name. I was just in your chat. I have my own channel, you know, all through South Sports. We do like the whole thing when we talk about Houston Texans football, but I just happened to come across you guys' channel earlier, and I respect what y'all guys do. I see y'all avid football fans, so it's good to talk to people who actually know football and aren't biased just because they're fans of teams. Now, what I do want to say, this was a sloppy game on both sides.
Amen.
This was a fucking sloppy game. Jimmy Garoppolo looked good, but Duke Ejiofor was on his ass tonight. Duke Ejiofor was on his ass tonight. And it was clear to me, and it's clear to all Texans fans, because we did a pregame show where we were talking about guys who were going to make a great impact on the game. And our 6th-round pick, Duke Ejiofor, number 53, who y'all saw in the backfield quite often early on, you know, he was just wreaking all kind of havoc against that O-line. Now, one of the things that I said that I wanted to see was how you guys' D-line was going to fare against our O-line. Now, PFF and a lot of these so-called pundits in the league will sit here and try to say that we have the worst defensive O-line in the league. Well, I couldn't tell tonight.
Wait. Now, before you continue, I just want to let you know we don't have good pass rushers. All right, so I just want to put that out there. The 49ers.
I like Jonathan Thomas. I like a lot of the guys y'all have. To be honest, y'all have an underrated pass rush to me. I mean, you may not feel that way, but I don't think y'all have a bad pass rush.
But
I mean, I don't think y'all played a lot of y'all starters tonight, but we did.
Right. Okay. All right, go ahead. Let me let you continue. Go ahead. Keep going.
So, I'm well aware y'all had some key guys out, and so do we. You just be merciless to David Clowney or Bernard McKinney or guys like that play, you know. So it was pretty much a fair game across the board. But the fact that, like, Bruce Ellington and guys like that were able to to get behind guys in the scenes was absolutely ridiculous to me. And he had been doing it all week in practice, and it was just clips and shit like that all over Twitter. And I just couldn't believe dudes like Jimmy Ward was just giving up fucking big plays, for absolutely no reason. So I mean, I'm not entirely sure what y'all linebacking for is like, but they weren't getting shit done until the first team came out, because Deshaun Watson did what he wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? So if it was ever any indication that Deshaun Watson is a phenomenal football player from the pocket, he's been proving that most of the touchdowns that he threw last year, with the exception of 2 last year, were outside of the pocket. But nobody wants to talk about that.
I got to throw. Wait. I got to throw a flag on that. So because we practice all week together, I think your coaches were well aware of where to go to move that ball. And it was clear they were targeting Jimmy Ward all night long. He was the reason.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so to say that Deshaun Watson was doing whatever he wanted to do, I think it was more about Ellington doing whatever he wanted to do. And they saw that throughout the week, because Jimmy Ward just wasn't good. And they were purposely putting Ellington on Jimmy Ward. Jimmy Ward didn't even line up in the slot. And that's where Ellington was predominantly supposed to be playing. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I understand, but I mean, that didn't take away that he was accurate, and outside of the 3 drops on the 8 passes that he threw 5 for 8, 77 yards and a touchdown. And it's just the man was stepping up in and out of the pocket. He had no pressure in his face. He was able to just move around, and he had enough time to make all his reads and do what he wanted. Now, the run game, y'all was stuffing that shit all night. When it came to Joe Webb, and they were doing run pass options and shit like that, this shit was truly pissing me off. I'm like, bro, why the fuck are y'all run the ball? See what you have in your offense to open up holes. You know what I'm saying? But this is a Bill O'Brien problem, because he tries to run a lot of power and shit like that. And when we really have guys that set up for a zone style, for a zone scheme. You know what I'm saying? So we have our own little problems with Bill O'Brien. I'm not sold on this dude. He has more than enough to prove that he was taking the ball and doing fuck shit with Deshaun Watson all last season. You know what I'm saying? So in terms of that McNichols, y'all might have a little diamond in the rough when it comes to him because he was pissed at me off tonight.
Okay.
Y'all were getting some shit done. Y'all were getting some shit done with him on third down tonight. I don't know who the fuck he is, but that little motherfucker was getting on my nerves.
McNichols getting respect from the enemies, man. That's what I'm talking about, baby.
He was fucking getting on my nerves.
You
like,
know
and it's just like guys, like they came in like we had y'all guys sacked like multiple times, and he was able to like bounce off and do little crazy shit and get past and run past. And I was like, God, bro. Why can't y'all stop doing this? So y'all were taking advantage of dudes like G. Surgeon, you know what I'm saying? And then when we threw to Smith and he ended up getting that interception, and this stupid motherfucker, he just looked at the dude and just watched y'all just run away with the damn ball. But then he gets a touchdown at the end of the game. When that play happened, I wanted him to be cut immediately. Just give him his walking papers, let him go in the back of the room and cry. Because his football career in Houston would have been over. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
But how did you guys' feedback in terms of what you saw from your side to our side? How did you feel? Because I honestly feel like y'all should have won the game.
All right, so that's good. I'm gonna let Nick take this because that was good. But listen, we're gonna end the call with you, man. But really quick, for all the Texans fans that are watching, we want you guys to give these guys a follow. They have their own channel. They do highlight videos and things like that, and they discuss Texans football, a couple of other things, boxing and things like that. Third Coast Sports. So you guys make sure you check them out. Hit that subscribe button for them also. Okay, so we want to thank you for calling. Nick is going to answer that question. What you saw from the Texans side, and we're going to go ahead and get to. I'll piggyback off of that, and we'll have the panel answer that also, so we can get those guys involved.
I mean, I thought overall the Texans were aggressive with everybody that was on the field. They brought a good pass rush. Their linebacking core actually played pretty well. Their defensive line on our left side was just conquering the hell out of our left side of the line.
So the right side of their defensive line, yeah.
So on our left side, so there were some mental breakdowns on their side too. And it's hard to tell when you have mental breakdowns with another team because Kyle Shanahan does scheme receivers open. So you can't really tell if it's a mental breakdown or if it's a scheme associated play. So, but overall, I mean, we didn't see a lot of their stars too. So it's kind of hard to judge from them, not knowing about a lot of their backups and how they play. But I know if Watt was in there, Clowney, it would have been a lot longer of a day for us with our backups, even our starters right now. So, but Ellington, I'm not giving him credit. I can't do it. I called him out on Twitter. I still can't give him it. I still think he found something good over there in Houston, but
you're a fucking hater.
Yo,
you're a hater, bro.
The biggest problem with him here was we never really got to see him. What did we see him for? Like 13 plays.
The biggest problem
the entire
with him,
career.
The biggest problem with him is the same thing as Eric Armstead.
Staying healthy.
Yeah. Those guys are productive as fuck. Ellington could run routes. Ellington has good hands, and he's shifty. Ellington is everything that we want Richie James to be, minus the health.
Right, but he wasn't that here for us. So.
But he's a good wide receiver. He just can't stay healthy. I mean, injuries are injuries. You got to at some point you got to hope that you can stay healthy, man. And But I will never knock a guy for health. If health ends your career, then it is what it is. But as far as your abilities, I'm going to acknowledge those abilities. Ellington is a good wide receiver.
When he would make plays, I'd get psyched for him. Like I'd get pumped up for him. Like the one catch that he had where he ran it, I think he scored on it. And it was like, damn, this is who we've been waiting to see out of Bruce Ellington.
David Lopez says, "Why give him credit when he was lined up against Ward?" I mean, I can't argue with that shit tonight. For anybody who hasn't seen the game yet, I saw some comments in the chat saying that the game is live on NFL Network right now, so you guys can tune into that right there. Just around the 10 minutes left in the first quarter, so you guys can turn to that right now. The panel, you guys are there, quiet and patient. I appreciate it and everything. Steve. We'll kick it back to you. I know you went first last time. Your thoughts on the Texans based off of this game? And again, a lot of those starters weren't in there. I didn't see DeAndre Hopkins. I didn't see Fuller. That's just two of the guys on the offense. I don't know who they're starting. Tyrann Mathieu.
Hey.
Fuck off. Tyrann Mathieu, I didn't see out there. Did Merciless play?
No.
Merciless didn't play. Clowney didn't play. Watt didn't play. It's hard to gauge. I mean, but based off of their backups, never mind. Go ahead, Steve. The floor is yours, bro.
Yeah, I agree. You didn't have their stars there defensively, offensively, but so it's kind of hard to judge that one series where we went down and scored. I mean, there's no Watt, like you said, no Clowney, so that pass rush that they would normally put on wasn't there. But we moved the ball easy the first series, but their backups, you know, they shut us down the whole rest of the game. I know Beathard had a lot to do with that part as well, but their offense to me looked good without Hopkins, without Fuller. They still moved the ball easily down the field. And, like, I'm a huge fan of Watson, so, you know, I think he's one of the better young quarterbacks in the league, and he looked good tonight. So I don't think there's going to be a problem with Houston, for the Houston fans out there, you know, being up there for a playoff spot or winning their division. They look pretty good to me.
All right, so I mean, I kind of agree with you, man. I mean, so this is what I take away from it, really quick, just super quick, just to piggyback on what Steve said. When you know the starters aren't out there, but the opposing team still has to work a little bit, it's a compliment to the depth. And so I think that basically the Texans have some decent depth out there. They were stopping the run, specifically the run game. They have depth on that defensive line because they were getting to our guys, and it was hard for the starters for the 49ers because we didn't sit anybody this game except what on offense. Who do we sit on offense that was a starter? I can't think of anybody, right?
The running backs, basically.
Well, the running backs were injured, so yeah, I get that. But the holes weren't opening up, and when they weren't getting there. So that's a testament to the depth on the Texans defensive line. All right, so to the rest of the panel, let's go with Anthony because I see Eric's into the TV over there. You guys are probably watching the game like I am. I just saw Trent Taylor score the touchdown too. Anthony, Trent, fuck him. Anthony, man, your thoughts on the Texans, man, because that's a good thing. I didn't even think about the fact that we might even have Texans fans watching right now. So I want to get your opinion on the Texans' depth and what you thought from them of tonight, based off.
Yeah, it's great to have other fans watching. I mean, that guy had a lot of insight, that's for sure. And, you know, good shout out for him. But man, it's hard to point out what was good about the Texans because I'm sure a lot of the fans thought they played how we think we played. It was horrendous on both sides. I mean, their only bright spot was Ellington, and that was it. I mean, the only starter they had on defense, I believe, was Kevin Joseph, and he got knocked out right after fucking Jimmy G threw a dime to Goodwin. But outside of that, I think the only things that really did impress me with the Texans was the front seven. They shut down the run. It seemed like we weren't really getting intermediate passes off, you know. The short passing game was bad. It was just, I mean, I don't want to say they played better than us, but man, they did things right that we didn't, you know. So will I say right now that the Texans are a better team than the Niners? No, that's not biased. I just think that's the truth. I don't think the Texans are better. But did they show that they can definitely ball out? Yeah, and I think they have a lot to prove, especially in that division. So overall, I wouldn't say they impressed me, but they played football. I mean, they probably had almost the same amount of penalties as we did, or at least close to it. It was an ugly football game overall, and just it's hard to point out what was good about that team other than they got a few better passes than us, they got a few better runs than us. That was really it.
Nick is pulling it up right now, but I am going to strongly disagree that they had as many penalties as us. I know for a fact the 49ers had 14 or 15 penalties, and I remember in the beginning of the fourth quarter, the Texans had 6 or 7. So it would have been hard for them to catch up, and I can't imagine we didn't. You know what I mean? But it was ugly. And here's the crazy part: the Texans had 6 or 7, and 4 or 5 of them. Or no, 5 or 6 of them came in the second half. it started really, really ugly for the 49ers, man. It was just bad. Eric, I know you're a guy who values depth, and you have a different eye than the rest of us as far as talent and things like that goes. Your thoughts on the Texans, because we have Texans people watching, so we want to be fair to everybody.
Yeah, no, I like the Texans. I definitely think, I know a lot of people think that it's just a runaway division for the Jaguars, but I think the Texans actually have a better chance of winning that division than even the Jags. Like you guys touched on with just the depth and stuff like that. That's definitely there. They definitely have a lot of depth across their entire team. The biggest thing for them is just to stay healthy. They've had a lot of injuries from Clowney, J.J. Watt missed most of last year. Fuller, I believe he broke his collarbone early last year, so he missed a lot of time. Watson was hurt. So that's going to be their big thing. Can they stay healthy? And if they can, I definitely think that they will potentially they'd be my favorite to win the AFC South.
Can y'all hear me? Okay, there we go. Those favorites to win the NFC South? I mean, the AFC South? Those are big words, bro. So we just going to disregard the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Like I said, the Jaguars, remember, and even then, after all the, it seems like Jacksonville had a lot of success last year. They won 10 games. And I'm still don't believe in Blake Bortles. I feel like the Texans definitely, they won, or they were winning, and they lost Watson. They didn't have Watt most of the year, and Clowney's been banged up too. So they have a healthy team. I definitely like them more than the Jaguars.
Hey man, I'm sorry we just lost you like 3 yards in that play right there. My bad, bro. All right, RC, man. I mean, RV. Let me get your thoughts, man. That's interesting though. It's tough for me to go ahead and just put them over. I know what you said about Bortles and everything like that, but damn, man, that's interesting as shit, because I do believe that the Texans' strength, their defense, and I think that Watt is explosive. I mean Watson is explosive, and what he can do with that all. That's I got to get back to that. So go ahead, RV, what you got, man?
I truthfully don't think there's much left to say. I mean, as you guys pointed out, I think the biggest thing is they didn't have a lot of stars in, and that scares me for our offensive line, because, I think it was Nick said, our right side or our left side was getting destroyed all night long with their second and third string guys. So that's scary. They definitely have the depth, and I would agree with Croc, actually. I do think the Texans are going to win the AFC South. I think the Jags are vastly overrated, partly because of the quarterbacks they played in their division last year for 6 of their games. And then the other part is because I don't believe in Blake Bortles either. I think he's pretty average. So but that's all I got to say. You guys pretty much covered everything when it comes to the Texans.
Yeah. So my personal diagnosis of the whole game and everything is going to be based on one thing and one thing only: mental errors. Physically, it seemed like the teams knew each other very well, and we found a way to match it. But the 49ers made significantly more mental errors. And you think, even fast forward to the very end of the game, in the very last touchdown that was accredited, just touch the fucking player. You know what I mean? They didn't have any timeouts at that point in time. They would have had to have been forced to score in very tight quarters if we just touch the guy down and make them run the play again. You know what I mean? So it's simple things like that that change the entire fortune of the team. And then even after that, you call the fair catch in the end zone on the kickoff. You still got 20-plus seconds left.
27
seconds from the 25-yard line, as opposed to 17 seconds from the 23-yard line, or 22.
Let me ask you this, because somebody in our chat said that why go for the field goal because it's preseason. Let me ask you guys, would you have been aggressive and went for the field goal, played it out to where you could still tie the game and go into overtime? Because you want to still tie or win the game, or do you think it's just preseason, wins and losses don't matter?
Is it going to be a poll the panel thing?
Yeah.
All right, so Steve, we'll go Steve, RV, Eric, and then Anthony. Would you have liked to see the 49ers be aggressive and go for the win or overtime, or just let's do a Hail Mary and get it over and go get back to the locker room.
Shoot, I want to. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Steve,
I just want to see Big Dick Nick prove himself once again because he did it last week. But, I mean, you should treat every game like it's a serious game. I don't care if it's preseason or not. I don't care if it's the 4 stringers or not. You have something to prove, even if it seems like there's nothing to prove. So I think they should have went for it.
Okay. Steve, what you got, man?
I don't necessarily think they should have went down and kicked a field goal, but I would have liked to see them get into field goal range. So if it was a regular season game, that they can get down to field goal range to tie. But for preseason wise, you could have just threw the last play up in the end zone. But it would have been nice to see him at least try to get into that range with, 2 seconds left. So in a potential regular season situation, you get goaled out there, tie the game or whatever. But as far as winning, losing, no, preseason doesn't matter to me. Can't hear you, Nick.
Mic check, mic check. Can you guys hear us?
Yeah, we're good now.
Every time I pull up this window, it fixes it. I don't know. Go ahead.
Your computer shit.
Fuck you.
Bye, Mac. But no, what I was saying was I understand that you're saying like wins and losses don't matter, and I'm fine with that. But I would have liked to see them play it like it would have been a regular season game. So take the knee in the end zone, get the ball at the 25, and play out that series right there with 2 timeouts left, 27 seconds on the clock, and try to get down. Whether you made the field goal or you went for the touchdown, fine. But it just looked like the way that Bolden came out, and I don't know if he's going to get reamed at for that or not, because he kind of hesitated for a second and then he just took off, and even like we talked about before, Dunbar just stopped. But I wanted to see, like, the way that it came off to me was like, it's preseason. Who cares? But I want to see in that 27 seconds what we can do, because if it's in a regular season game, you're going to need that. You're going to need that reps. That's a perfect situational football right there to go down and do something. So, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, Steve.
No, you're good. That's basically what I'm trying to say. You have that 25 seconds, at least get it to the 30. You don't necessarily have to kick the field goal, but at least get to that position where in a regular season game you can get to the 30 and you can do it. Now, like I said, it's a preseason game. Whatever, you just Hail Mary it up and try to score the touchdown. There's no reason to tie a preseason game or go to overtime. So at least get down to that field, get to the 25, 30 where you're in field goal range, and then do what you want to do from there for the preseason game.
All right. So what you guys are both saying is that you want us to play I hear you. What you guys are saying that you want us to play as if we are going for the win, or no, you want us to play as if we're going for the tie, and then once we get into field goal range, all right, we know we could tie if we want to. Now let's just go for the win because we want to go home and get out of here healthy, right? All right, so I'm with you guys. I'm with you guys so far. RV, your thoughts?
No, I thoroughly agree. I think we're hitting the nail on the head here with that. I think we should have marched down to prove that we could have got there. And honestly, we might have had a shot at a Hail Mary if Victor Bolden would have got down after his 27th spin. But, there's nothing we can do about that now.
All right, so here's where I'm going to differ from everybody. I was with you guys as far as marching down the field and seeing what we could do, just to see if we could do it and use those 2 timeouts smartly, right? But here's the difference. I want to know if we could have punched it in and who rose to the occasion when the pressure was on. And the reason I say that is because I know that you want to get out of a preseason game as healthy as possible. Why risk the health of other players? Go ahead and bring them on. Just tell them to hold on. All right. Why risk the health of other players and things like that? I understand all of that. But here's the difference. Wait.
Hold on 1 second. All right.
All right.
I'm with you guys up to that point. All right. So if we get in field goal range, we know that we can at least take it to overtime. But I would go for the win for one reason. All right. I don't want overtime. Or you know what? No. I would take overtime because of one thing. You want to see who's got it in them, that grit, that extra, that little bit of umph. I want the guys to fight, right? And that late in the game, this is going to sound mean, but most of those guys ain't starters anyway. So if they do get hurt, next man up. Like, I'm sorry. Like, we got to call a spade a spade. There's a reason those guys are playing late in the fourth quarter. You get what I'm saying? There's a reason that on our last drive with 29 seconds, you're out there. You're one of the guys that are likely not to make this team. So I want to see if you can. That might be the difference between getting another look with the third team or the second team for somebody as opposed to permanently being stuck on the fourth team. You have, let's say, Saxon ended up breaking 6 tackles to get down the field and win that game for us, right? We'll be like, damn, well, I didn't know that he had that kind of ability. You know what I mean? Maybe we should see what he can do with the second team. Like, a lot of these players need one opportunity, and we robbed them of that. You know what I'm saying? I would have liked for us to use those timeouts wisely, to march down the field methodically, play the sidelines the way that you're supposed to, as if you're at least trying to get into overtime. And then when you get down there, play for the overtime. Because most of those guys that were out there on that field at that moment weren't going to make this team.
Well, I mean, it just goes to show what Kyle Shanahan said last week. If I have to go for the tie, I'm going to go for the tie. But hell, I want to win the game.
Right.
He said that himself.
But then he
didn't see any of that this week.
He completely contradicted himself here. Right. Or do you think that Victor Bolden just went rogue and said, "Fuck it"?
I do think Bolden went rogue. You even said that too when we were watching.
And the
because he's like trying to be a hero.
I did ask out loud, why is he playing hero ball?
Yeah.
RV, I know you wanted to jump in. I saw you go to unmute real quick. What was it?
I was just going to say exactly that. Bolden proved why he's a third string guy, and if our receivers stay healthy, come week 5 when his suspensions get cut, because exactly you're saying, you're trying to play hero ball. It wasn't smart. He should have kneeled. We didn't even have an opportunity to do what you're saying, where we could have marched down and maybe played for overtime, get another look, because he single-handedly screwed that entire opportunity. So.
All right. So we got a caller on here, man. We want to thank you for taking your time out to give us a call. Give us your name, where you're from, and please be a 49ers fan. I'm just kidding. It don't matter.
No, it's Third Coast Sports TV again. I had to call back in, man.
Okay. What's up?
I had to call back in because when you started talking about the Jacksonville Jaguars, and you guys, it's to me, it's absolutely ridiculous. Besides their defense, which is ferocious, who the hell at quarterback, and who the hell is their receivers and tight ends should anybody need to be worried about in the league?
All right, so here's
you're worried about D.D. West. No. And I really want to preface this by going ahead and calling out these people, and none of these people are no threat to any team in the National Football League. D.D. Westbrook, he can't stay healthy. Marquise Lee, he can't stay healthy. You drafted DJ Chark, who is a phenomenal talent, but we're gonna have to see what type of chemistry he has with Blake Bortles. Blake Bortles is dumpster juice. I mean, at 7 o'clock, I think DSI will be showing up to his dumpster and going to take him out to the trash yard because he is complete and utter trash.
I'm sorry. I've never heard dumpster juice before in my life, and that shit is funny.
Dumpster juice, yeah.
Call that
like
pussy dumpster juice.
Like he's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle juice water. Like he's sewer juice, sewer sausage, hot dog water, or however you want to preface it. He is an absolute trash. He can't throw the ball. Like this dude, I don't know how anybody believes in him. I don't even know how he's alive in the National Football League. So this is a team that got lucky by playing the team in the AFC South with 2 quarterbacks who they couldn't see. Like first off, they played us in the first game coming off of Hurricane Harvey, where dudes on the football team's houses got flooded. They didn't get to practice. They didn't even get to play in the last preseason game. So you had that going on because they had lives to take care of. They weren't prepared to be on the field. They got their asses whooped. No excuses for that because the team was fully healthy at that point in time. And Bill O'Brien couldn't make the right decision. And instead of putting in Deshaun Watson, he had Tom Savage at the end of the half. And even after that first game, you even have Jalen Ramsey saying in the locker room that was a fucking mistake. That's number one. Number two, think about the teams that they beat. Outside of Pittsburgh, they beat nobody nowhere. Outside of Pittsburgh, they beat nobody who was a real playoff contender.
They beat the Seahawks. At the end of the day, they feasted on an AFC South where Andrew Luck wasn't their quarterback. When they faced off with Deshaun Watson, the team was completely depleted across the board. And somehow they look up to go 10-6, mainly because of the defense of Fournette. And Mercedes Lewis actually showed up in the 12-year period. Wait now.
Played football for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Hold on. So let me stop you real quick. I'll let you get yours off, okay? They beat the
Okay.
They beat the Seahawks. They beat the Steelers.
The Seahawks were trash last year.
Okay, but they were a borderline playoff team. If they had a 1 week 17, they'd have made the playoffs. They beat the
Did they make the playoffs?
No, but that doesn't matter if a team didn't make the playoffs. It's if the 49ers didn't make the playoffs, but we were a good team at the end of the year. Things change. They beat the Seahawks, who were in playoff contention. They beat the shit out of the Steelers, right?
Okay.
They beat the Chargers when the Chargers were getting hot. They beat the Chargers also, right? They beat y'all.
Didn't go to the playoffs, but okay.
They beat y'all 45-7 in week 15, right? And another thing that I want to say is you were like, oh, well, who do they have on that team to be afraid of? As a 49ers fan, I take offense to that because if you look at our roster, who is Dante Pettis? Who is Marquise Goodwin? Who is Pierre Garçon?
Marquise Goodwin can play.
No. That was stop. That was not the narrative. Bro. That was not the narrative for Marquise Goodwin before he got with Kyle Shanahan. Not a single person in the.
Hey, can't hear you guys. Can't hear you.
Hold on. They can't hear us. Mic check. Okay, we back. All right. So this guy just said that he knew that while Marquise Goodwin was with the Bills, he knew he was a good wide receiver. And my response was, get the fuck out of here. Not a single person in the NFL would have said that. No,
unless you were a Bills fan.
No,
I'm not saying he was.
Bro, even Bills fans said he's a one-trick pony who can't do shit. Before he got here with Kyle Shanahan, nobody said that. We got George Kittle, who? We got Marquise Goodwin, who? We got Pierre Garçon. How old is he? We got Carlos Hyde. How many 1,000 yards? How many Pro Bowls? We had a bunch of nobodies, and we were stomping ass at the end of the season. And here's another thing I want to tell you about the Jaguars. After they lost their starting wide receivers, they put up 30 points. They put up another 30 points. They put up 45 points. They put up 33 points. They finished the year putting up mad points with that bum-ass quarterback you're calling Blake Bortles.
He is a bum, though.
You can call him a bum all you want, but
he's a super bum.
But out of his last 6 games, they averaged 40 points a game.
Not against us, 33.
They put up 33 against us, but 45 against the Texans.
They put up 45 against a Tom Savage-led team with no.
Deshaun Watson definitely makes them different.
Tom Savage ain't got nothing to do with that defense.
And they had no defense. They had no secondary. So
Tom Savage has no difference with that defense playing.
They didn't even go up against a fully led Deshaun Watson football team.
Here we go.
Here we go. You cannot say
everybody's got excuses. What the fuck? What does Tom Savage have to do with the defense he's playing?
Because they're two total different quarterbacks. Deshaun Watson, if the pocket breaks down, he's gone. Savage ain't doing that.
Tom Savage is an offensive player. Why didn't y'all stop him from scoring? They put up 45. We're not talking about 23 points. We're not talking about 26 points where, okay, at the end of the game, the defense was worn down. They put up 45 points, bro.
What does that offensively
That's more than Nick, that's where was the defense that game? Answer my question. Okay, a defense that wears down over time.
Because you know why? Mike Rabel was the team. Okay. Meanwhile, we got Romeo Cornell back who actually knows how to coach defense, who actually knows what he's doing. The year prior, how is it that we have the exact same defense with the exception of Quentin Demps and A.J. Boyer, and we go from number 1 to 32 in 1 year under Mike Rabel? He knew nothing what to do with the secondary. He knew it, but we were still top 10 in run defense defense.
But what you're
even
doing,
under his bum ass.
and
That's
what you're
like,
doing,
the
but what you're doing right
defense.
now, what you're doing right now to me, and what everybody else is going to say is that you're making excuses. You sat there
No. I'm just telling you what it is.
But what I'm telling you,
no, we lost games.
but what I'm telling you, what I'm telling you is that
football team.
what I'm trying to tell you is that you're shitting on a quarterback and a team that in 5 out of their last 6 games they put up a minimum of 30 points. You can sit here and call Blake Bortles whatever you want, but if they're putting up 30 plus points a game, you can't knock them for that. And that was without their 2 starting wide receivers.
And they also did that in addition where 2 of the teams weren't fully healthy without their quarterback, and they had they had done excuses. That, would they have been able to do that with fully healthy team, with fully healthy rosters? They also got smashed by the Tennessee Titans, who were far lesser team than them also. And Marcus Mariota is definitely a bust. So we don't even need to so to sit here and say because they had an outlier year and in the last 20 years of the two, like, bro, they haven't had any success in over 10 years. And it was 10 years prior to that.
Whose defense
I know
would
they
you take healthy?
Like, they suck.
That's what I'm trying to answer right now in my head.
Because that's the biggest key.
Right.
Houston's defense
all
was
right.
not healthy
So
last year.
all right. So we appreciate the call, man. We're gonna talk about this real quick. I'm gonna ask the panel a quick question here, and so I want to thank Third Coast Sports for calling in again. Texans fans, this guy is riding and dying for you guys. So make sure you guys go and give him a follow on that YouTube page. But I'm gonna ask the panel here: 100% healthy, you got to pick the Texans defense or the Jaguars defense. We're gonna go Steve, RV, Eric, and then Anthony. Steve, you up first. 100% healthy, everybody. Who you taking? Defense, just the defense.
Jacksonville over everybody in the NFL.
All right. So, RV, who you taking?
Houston, and it's really close, but the kicker for me is J.J. Watt because he's in a caliber all of his own when it comes to defensive players in the NFL when he's healthy.
All right. I like this. I see how this is going. Eric, man, who you taking?
I'm taking Jacksonville. They're complete. They got the corners. You know what I'm saying? They got the safeties. They got the linebackers. They got the D-line. Like, it's probably the most complete defense in the NFL. Easily. Like, not probably. It easily is the most complete defense in the NFL.
Easily. You don't like Colvin? You don't like Jonathan? What's up?
More than Bouye and Ramsey?
Okay, but who got the better front?
I'd say Texans in a slight edge.
Okay, so okay. All right, go ahead. Anthony, it's on you. Who are you taking? This is interesting. This is good. This is a really good debate right here. And this got nothing to do with Niners. I'm so pissed.
Sorry, man. It's going to be the Jags.
You taking the Jags too?
It's going to be the Jags because I can name the corners on the Jags more than I can the Texans.
I don't care about names. I'm looking for productivity.
And
I don't care about the names.
As a defense as a whole, J.J. Watt is on a whole other level. Don't get me wrong. So is Jadeveon Clowney. And, Whitney Merciless, yeah, but who's their interior defense? Who else can I trust on the interior? I know I'm getting picky, and I'm sorry.
What do you mean by interior?
Name me their interior D tackles.
You just named 3 of their 4 linemen. Like, what do you want?
Interior. I'm saying they're not interior. You can name Malik Jackson, Calais Campbell, Dante Fowler, Yannick Ngakoue. You can name that whole defense. You can hardly name the Texans defense outside of the guys who are obvious.
Who do the 49ers have on offense?
Garcon, Goodwin, Taylor, Pettis.
And you know that because you're a 49er fan. But from an outsider looking in, no one's going to be able to name anybody except Goodwin and Garcon, right?
Okay.
However, the league-wide perspective is that the 49ers are going to be one of the highest-scoring teams in the league. So just because you can't name them doesn't mean anything. Come on, man. That's not fair.
You can name more people on the Jags than the Texans then if you're going that way.
But you're talking about names, and what I'm telling you is that names don't matter. It's more than – okay. I'm sorry. That's your opinion. I did not mean to go there.
No, it's okay. I respect it.
I'm sorry.
To level this out, though, to level it out, Jags.
So we got Steve with Steve. Who? Damn, I don't know. Let me go backwards. So we got
made his drink way too strong.
Yes, Nick tried to date rape me. I'm sorry. Like Nick gave me this drink. I don't know if y'all saw when he handed me this drink. I sipped it and was like, "What the fuck, bro? Like, did you put any juice in this shit at all?" I'm sorry. All right. So we got 2 for the Jags at the end here, right? we Anthony and Eric both
Steve
said
took
Jags.
Houston.
Steve took Houston.
I took Jacksonville.
Oh, you took Jacksonville?
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Took Houston. Ryan.
It had to be Ryan. Ryan took Houston. So we got 3 for the Jags, 1 for Houston. Who are you taking?
I'm taking the Jags.
I'm taking Houston. I'm taking Houston all day, every day.
I agree with Croc. I think they're more all around a better defensive team.
I'm taking Houston all day, every day. And my reason for this is simple. I saw what the 49ers did. You want to beat Jacksonville, you avoid that secondary. And the 49ers marched up and down the field using running backs and tight ends and fullbacks all game long. You can't do that shit with Houston. You can't, because Houston has above average secondary and the best front 7 probably in the entire NFL. Bro, you're not going to find a better JJ, like my man said,
Jimmy Ward.
JJ Watt is arguably, when healthy, the best player in the NFL. Like, nobody is having an effect on an entire game like JJ Watt is by himself on the defensive side of the ball. All right, so we're getting sidetracked. We need to wrap this thing up, man. Let's get back to Niners talk here.
It sounds like you think the Texans can win the AFC South.
Which is going back to nah, fuck that. I'm not doing that. Eric tried to get me. He tried because I got on him originally because this whole thing started about me saying that, damn, you just go disrespect the Jaguars like that. I see what you did there. You slick motherfucker, because because I definitely like their defense better, and I think they got better offensive weapons too.
Much better offense.
Yeah.
You like the defense more and offense more, but you don't think they're gonna win the AFC South?
All right, you got me, bro. I'm just saying that you can't disrespect the team who won the division last year. Like, that's like Niner fans all of a sudden thinking, oh, the division's ours, and just disrespecting the Rams. We still got to knock off the champs. That's all I'm saying. Like, you can't just sit there and say, because look, here the hard facts of this. Despite how you feel about Niners or Rams or Jacksonville and Houston, they only play each other twice. That's it. If you split or you win those, they still got 14 other games to go out there and get a better record than you. Right or wrong? We can be better than the Rams. We can be better than the Rams every single time we play them, but that don't mean that we're going to finish with a better record than them. That's all I'm saying. Like, it's more to it than
still
that.
Comes down to in division. So
okay, but if the teams are not going to like we don't expect the Jaguars or the Texans to lose to the Colts, and we definitely don't expect them to lose to the Titans.
I don't know. Andrew Luck's back this year.
Man, Andrew Luck is the most overrated quarterback I've ever seen in my fucking life. Don't get me started on him, man. Don't get me started on Andrew Luck. All right, let's get back to Niners talk. We want to wrap this thing up, man. This is the overreaction. This is probably the longest overreaction show ever.
Bro, it's been like 3 hours.
Yeah, so we're going to wrap this thing up. Is there anything else the panel wants to say? Eric, we're going to give it to you because you're not on mute first.
No, Eric is playing Madden 19 crack right now.
I see him. He got that feed.
He got the Pedersen scored a touchdown. You feel me? Playing against the Rams. Somebody got the Rams. Yeah, Pedersen scored. But I'm looking forward to the dress rehearsal. I think this is the most important game. Yeah, I wouldn't take too much away from anything else because it's kind of hard to get in a rhythm when you're starting offense only plays 2 drives. Defensively, we haven't seen Sherman. I'd probably bet money that we'll see Sherman week 3. So it's going to be the most complete team that we've seen. We don't have our running backs, but that's what I'm looking forward to.
Even without the running backs, let me ask you this question: who's your starting right guard based off of what you saw tonight?
I gotta watch it again because I wasn't really paying attention. Like I was just watching the game, so I gotta watch it again and kind of like take notes.
All right, that's fair. All right, fellas. So
I saw somebody say something about McGlinchey, and it's like, dang, I didn't see it. I saw somebody was like, oh, that wasn't good about McGlinchey. So
yeah,
those are the things I want to check back in.
Nick and I were here with 4 eyes. We sitting here with 2 sets of eyes, and Nick is like, all right, Mike, on this play, you watch the defensive line, I watch the linebackers. We was over here trying to work this shit, man. Like it's hard, and I still missed shit. Yes, I missed it twice. Yes, I know.
Second time.
I know. All right, Anthony, man, any closing remarks? Finish us up strong, man.
Just to go back to the very beginning of this video, I actually have Madden 19 open right now, and I just traded Jimmy Ward for a 7th-round pick, so anything is possible.
What year? 2024.
No, it's just we have a lot to look forward to with this Niners team. Again, this has been an awesome overreaction video, and we have every reason to overreact because this was our sloppiest game, and I thought the Dallas game was bad, but I'm honestly going to say this game was a lot worse. Outside of Jimmy Garoppolo, this game was horrendous as well.
That's fair. Absolutely fair. All right, we're going to give it to RV because I would like to end with the last panel person being someone of NB Niners. So, RV, man, your closing remarks for the Overreaction show.
So I got 3 things. First two are 2 of our guys that are always solid. They're always there for us. Joe Staley looks like he's in great shape. Like the best shape I've seen him in a long time, so that's a positive. Robbie Gould, as solid as usual. I mean, just being clutch. And then, the turnovers. It was nice to see turnovers. Like, we didn't talk about it much, and it was kind of later in the game, but it was awesome to see turnovers. It's nice to see the ball going the other way when we were on defense. So,
absolutely. We didn't get any turnovers the first game. We got 2 tonight. I think there were 3 turnovers, but one was called back or ruled not a fumble or something like that, right?
No, one we didn't recover.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's. I know there was something that was a little
2
scary.
actually we didn't recover.
So you're telling me there was 4?
Yeah, there was 2 that we didn't recover. DJ Jones forced 2 fumbles. One of them they recovered.
Oh,
the other one they didn't.
At the PBU versus what was the thing that Robert Saleh said?
Missed opportunities.
Missed opportunities. Man, if you don't get the fuck out of here with that shit, Robert Saleh, I'm sorry, man. Anthony Smiley, he know what I'm talking about. Robert Saleh said, "Oh, we don't call them PBUs. We call them missed opportunities. Every PBU should be an interception. If you got your hands on the ball, you could have put that shit down."
Definitely should have been.
Man, if you don't get the fuck out of here with that
those
bullshit,
2 balls that the defenders touched shouldn't have been interceptions.
They should have been intercepted.
Okay, they were missed opportunities.
They are missed opportunities. But let me ask you a question: what does writing it down as something different gonna do?
Nothing.
Exactly. So get the fuck out of here with your bullshit.
It wasn't a missed opportunity.
I'm not disagreeing.
We dropped the interception and then they ended up getting points out of it.
Yes.
I'm not disagreeing. You got to hear me out. I'm not disagreeing with that. But what I'm saying is calling it a PBU versus calling it a missed opportunity is not going to change how hard or how well your players play. All right. Last year, they came up with their own grading system. They had a point scoring thing. Remember, he talked about that shit last year for something else. That shit don't make a fucking difference. You can call it a PBU, you can call it a missed opportunity, but it's not going to make these guys hold on to the ball. All that shit is cute and it works well with the media, but it don't mean shit to the players in the moment. That shit don't matter.
Jimmy Ward had a lot of missed opportunities.
Here he go with Jimmy Ward. All right. So, Steve, man, the floor is yours, bro. Take us home, finish this up strong. Your takeaways from the game, anything else that you want to add to it, man?
All right, I got 3 things. 1, before the season started, I was one of the main people that said we need a wide receiver 1. We got it. Goodwin is wide receiver 1. Talk to him.
Goodwin is wide receiver 1. I'm sorry. I'm watching a replay right now on my 30-second delay. CJ Beathard just ran 4 yards past the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I'm watching the same thing.
Passed the ball to somebody else. Why the fuck is this guy the number 2 quarterback guaranteed? I'm sorry. I'm done. Go ahead. All right. So
you're good. So we have our wide receiver 1. Goodwin looks he can run all the routes. He gets open. I mean, he's gonna tear it up this year, I think. Second, I didn't like the Dante Pettis pick. He's proven me wrong in 2 games. He's gonna be a superstar. Give him a year or 2, superstar in this league. And third, we lost for one reason, and one reason only. Nick didn't wear his Ronnie Lott jersey.
Yo, you know what's crazy? That when we did the video earlier today, he had that shit on. So I didn't wear mine tonight. You had that shit on earlier.
I was going to wear it too. And I was going to say to you when I got here, I was like, I didn't bring the Lott jersey.
Yo.
Regular season, that will not come off of my back.
No,
I'm
but
guaranteed.
No. You have to. Here's the thing. Let me ask you straight out. Oh, so before I get away from Steve, that is excellent. Excellent observations right there, my man. He took the jersey off He had that shit on earlier today. He took it off, and we lost. This is the first loss that the 49ers have had, and this is the first time you didn't have that fucking jersey on during a game.
Yep.
That is fucking excellent observation by Steve right there. My man gets kudos for that shit. That is, we got to come up with a nickname for Steve. I'm gonna work on that shit. Like Bob and Weave Steve. I don't know. I'm gonna work on
Bob and Weaves.
No, you don't like that one? No. I'm gonna work on a nickname for him because he earned that shit right there. That shit is great. I like everything that he just said. Everything. That shit was
that
great.
Don't happen often.
I'm a contrarian person. Like I like to disagree with people. I'm a devil's advocate type of guy. That shit was great right there.
Yeah.
I liked everything you said. All right, so go ahead, man. The floor is yours. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What are we doing? Observations?
Well, just your closing remarks on everything, man. Take us home.
All right, so I agree with I mean, a lot of people were saying CJ Beathard, obviously quarterback position should open. We all agree pretty much all on that. Something's got to go on with Jimmy Ward, man, whether it's being cut, whether it's being traded, whether it's being just get his head out of his ass. 3, I will not ever wear the number 42 jersey again.
No. You have to not wear it. I'm going to ask you a simple yes or no. Wait, hear me out. Do you expect the Niners to go 16-0 this year? Just say yes or no.
No.
Okay, so you can't wear it all 16 games. You have to wear it when you want the luck. Don't wear it just because. Because if you already don't expect us to go 16-0, then you're just breaking your chain of good luck. Wear it for the tough games or something like that. You get what I'm saying?
They're all tough games.
No, they're not all fucking tough.
All right,
games,
we'll discuss this later.
You just don't make it silly because if you wear it against the Vikings and we're gonna lose that game, like don't do it. Don't do it, Nick. Don't do it, Nick. Come on, man, make it count. You know we're not gonna go 16-0. Don't wear it all 16 games. That's all I'm saying. Make the luck like you could really make this a thing, like a real thing. This could be for real, man.
All right, we'll talk about it later.
All right.
Anyway, observations, guys. Everybody did a great job tonight. Croc is winning over there on Madden 19. That's a clear observation, too.
Touchdown. Marquise going. I'm up 14-0. Let's go.
Gonna be the only time the Niners win tonight.
Steve, going back to what you said about number ones. I think number ones are overrated.
Oh, no, get the fuck out of here. No, you don't.
Yes, I like number ones, what people think are number ones.
Bro, you redefined number one, and you said Marquise Goodwin is a number one wide. You said that shit last preseason.
But what I'm trying to say is where people say number one, like what a number one is. Like people saying that Goodwin couldn't be a number one because he's not an Antonio Brown. That's what I'm trying to say. So remember last year I kept asking people to define what a number one wide receiver was.
And that's why I said you redefined it.
Right.
And based off of your definition, he's a number one wide receiver.
Okay, but I'm just saying I don't call it a number one.
Nah, fuck that. No. I'm not letting that shit slide. We're the Niners. We're going to talk our shit. We have a number one wide receiver. He can run routes. He's fast. He demands double coverage. Fuck all the bullshit. We got a number one wide receiver. Nick, I'm not letting you back down from this shit, man. Own your shit, bro. You're the one who redefined the shit. Don't try to back down from that shit.
I'm not trying to back down from it. I always believed that Marquise Goodwin could be a number one receiver in this league.
Is he a number one wide receiver? Yes or no?
Of course.
All right, so then fuck what everybody else think, man. We got to go into the season with some fucking confidence, man. You're sounding like you're about to shy away from some shit.
No, I'm shying away from the whole number one thing because people were saying that we didn't have a number one before. You're not listening to me.
I'll be
Drink
quiet.
up the rest of that drink.
I'll be quiet.
Only gave you that much juice.
Yeah, this motherfucker filled it. Go ahead, go.
I shouldn't have did that because he's just ranting tonight. But no, guys, appreciate everybody joining us. I can't even look at you.
I haven't said a word.
Look, I can't do it. Ryan, I appreciate you joining us.
Finish your number one thoughts. Come on, man. We still got a decent amount of viewers. Finish your thoughts. Go ahead. Well, I want to know where you were going with the whole number one thing.
I was just trying to say that I don't agree with what most people say a number one is they all argue and say that we never had that.
I'm sorry.
Yo, I can't
Ward
watch
is
this.
trash. I'm sorry.
I can't watch this shit, bro.
Ward was so fucking bad. Did he just fucking do hopscotch in the middle of a
Bro, I gotta get out of here.
No, finish your thought on number one.
Done.
Come on. Finish it up.
I'm
Finish
done.
strong, bro. Finish strong. We're right here. Come on. Go ahead.
All right, so guys, anyway, you heard. I'm just gonna say, I said it. I said Marquise Goodwin could be a number one receiver before he even played a regular season game with us. And I'm sticking with the Dookie Jimmy Ward that I said. But anyway, other than that, guys, man, it was a great show. Really appreciate everybody joining us. And hopefully next week, this show, the game, not the show, but the game could be a lot better for basically what we see out of everything. I'm still excited about Jeremy McNichols. I still think Joe Williams has to really prove himself. But other than that, I don't think he's going to make this team, and that's my prediction. So
McNichols?
No, Williams.
Oh, well, you don't think Williams will make it?
No, I've been saying that for 2 years now. So that's it on my end.
You done? All right, guys. I'm going to give us some closing remarks. I'm going to run down, do a quick synopsis of everything. Number one, run game is a big problem. Like Nick just said, Williams didn't look good, but in my opinion, a lot of the running backs didn't look good. We had more rushing attempts this game than we did against the Cowboys and less rushing yards. That's a problem. That tells me that the offensive line didn't improve. Yeah, go ahead and pull up your numbers while I'm doing this, and you can look it up, and then you can confirm.
I don't think it was.
We had more attempts and less yards this game than we did last week, and you can confirm that for us. So when you're done, go ahead and say yes.
We had 27 rushing attempts in Houston and 29 in Dallas.
So more attempts in Dallas, and how many
yards?
yards?
We had less attempts this week.
How many yards?
84 rushing yards this week and 105 last week.
So when you do the average, we were better last week rushing the ball than we were this week. That, to me, now I'm not saying that Williams is good, but the offensive line is a big part of that. We shouldn't be taking steps backwards, progressing throughout the preseason. So the run game is a very big issue, and I'm going to blame a lot of that on the offensive line. We need to get better. Even with the addition of Garnett, I want to see Garnett next week with the ones, but I'm going to get to that in a second. Ali's question about Jimmy Garoppolo, again, I said this in the very beginning of everything. It's very possible to lead the league in passing yards and or touchdowns and still not have an excellent team. We saw Drew Brees do it before. I think that the Niners can be in for that because the secondary seems like they're going to give other teams whatever they want to give them. All right, especially if we have to rely on Dookie Jimmy Ward. Okay, the pass defense is going to suck. I just touched on that. We have penalties galore. I know that everyone's going to say that the league is trying to set a precedent and the league is trying to send a message and they're going to throw more flags right now. But the Niners did not look good. Anytime that the team has 15 penalties for 140 yards, it's just not good. We gotta lock up on that. Okay. What else do I have here? CJ Beathard should not be giving a snap. This is going to be something that I'm going to take with me for a long time. It's not just going to be here and now and just about CJ Beathard. I am going to judge Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch very hard on this. I want the 49ers to have a team with 90 players who are earning a roster spot. I don't want them to say, oh, well, we drafted these guys, so the guys that we drafted are automatically going to make the roster. I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to be alone in this sentiment, but if I am, so be it. Just because we drafted CJ Beathard and Nick Mullins was a walk-in or a UDFA, that shouldn't have any weight in it. CJ Beathard looks really, really bad. And we should be having open competitions for anybody who's not a starter. That goes even for starters. I don't think Jimmy Ward should be guaranteed a spot. Then again, when I think about $8.5 million, give that motherfucker a spot.
Nope.
But we heard what Eric said in the very beginning of the show. I'm not going to repeat it, but we heard what Eric said in the very beginning of the show. Yeah, let him walk. You know what I mean? So it is what it is there. Let me see. The penalties. We have to cut down the penalties. Can you guys hear me? Okay, yeah, you can hear me. All right, we have to cut down the penalties. It just wasn't good. Shanahan saying that Pettis should have caught the pass. That statement
Trent Taylor was taking punts tonight.
That statement right there said a lot to me. It tells me that Kyle Shanahan is going to defend his quarterbacks more than anybody else on this team.
That's a hot take from Mike.
Yeah, it is a hot take. You can roll your eyes on it. And little things like this are what led to me saying that Bowman ain't going to be here all year. It's tiny things that coaches say or do that mean a lot to me that I keep my eyes on. Kyle Shanahan is a stubborn person, and apparently quarterback is his weakness. There's no reason for him to have defended Jimmy Garoppolo the way that he did and then throw that butt in there at the end of it all. I heard everything that he said. I know you don't believe that I said that. I heard it all. But when you hear the word but, you disregard everything. He tried to put the onus on Dante Pettis. Jimmy Garoppolo threw that ball too high, and that's what resulted in the interception. His quarterback isn't perfect. We saw it in week 1. He made a mistake in week 2. But Jimmy Garoppolo looks significantly better. We don't have to pretend that he didn't look better, right? Every single person who watched the games tonight would agree that Jimmy Garoppolo was 1,000 times better than what he was last week. His first series and a half was garbage last week.
He only played one series.
No, he did not.
Yeah, he did.
You want to bet? Guys,
he played until they came off the field.
No, he played 2 series.
2 first downs.
He played 2 series last week. Bet me money.
He played 2 first downs.
He played 2 series last week. Bet me money.
Yes, 2 first downs.
No,
that's series.
A first down is not a fucking series,
He did not leave
bro.
the field and come back on.
Yes, the fuck he
did.
He
didn't.
Nick, bet me money. Bet me money right here on camera. Everybody's watching. Bet me 5 cents. All I want is a nickel.
No.
Bet me. I can't get a fucking nickel.
No.
I can't get a Jared. I can't get a Jeremy McNichol.
No.
No. That's because you don't want to be wrong. He played 2 series last week.
I don't remember that.
I know you don't because you don't want to. You don't want to. That's how bad he was. You wish that one of those series didn't happen.
I thought it was just after he got a first down.
Yeah. I know.
I don't remember him leaving the field and coming back out for a
He was that
series.
bad, bro. He was that bad.
Ryan was trying to say something.
What you got, Ryan?
I just wanted to ask y'all, and let me confirm because I said I missed the second quarter, so my timeline's a little messed up. The 4th and 1, that happened on the first drive, right?
No.
Was it the first time? Was it the second one?
What game are you talking about, tonight or?
Tonight, yeah. The 4th and 1 we converted on, the one to Juice.
That was the second drive, right?
Was it the second drive?
First
okay,
drive.
So what?
Before we scored.
It was the first drive before we scored, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, so what I was going to ask was, in the regular season, being where we were, do we go for that 4th down, or was that because it was preseason? Because if not, then technically we stalled out first drive. We would have punted there if it was a regular season game, right?
There's 2 ways to look at that. So if it's early in the game, like first quarter, there's plenty of game to make up for mistakes. Yes. If it's the end of the game and we're getting desperate, yes. That time in the middle, my answer is no.
So it falls into that category because it was the first drive.
Right.
So just send it. Okay. So you think we'd have done that? Say it was week 1 against Vikings, first drive. We get to a 4th and 1 midfield. We're going to go for it, you'd say?
What do you think? 4th and 1.
You think Kyle got that confidence?
I mean, Kyle has shown some galls these last 2 games. We've seen it in 2 games now where he's taking opportunities to, drop his nuts on the field. I'm sorry I can't think of a better way to phrase it right now. So.
No, you're good. And that's one thing I don't think we talked about a lot in this was both last game and this game, and I brought it up last game, is I'm so freaking excited for Kyle for the plays that he does dial up where he just schemes people open. Tight ends wide open, not 10 yards. There's nobody around him. It's just genius, man. I'm excited.
You think Kyle makes that same call? 4th and 1
regular season.
4th and 1 midfield. The score was 0-0 based off of what you guys are saying, right? Oh no, it should have been 0-7. Oh wait,
no,
go ahead,
we had the ball first.
Oh, okay, we had it first.
Real quick, they just showed that same play on SportsCenter right now. They were at like the 33 or 34. So I think if it's just out of Robbie Gould's range, but if it's something like a 4th and 1 where you feel like you shouldn't punt it from that close, I think Kyle Shanahan, not half the time, but more of the time, he would go for something like that. Like I say, if it's just out of Gould's range, but if it's too close to where you feel like you shouldn't punt, I think they go for it. If he's further back, no, that's instant punt. But
that's definitely Gould's range, though.
Yeah.
It was like 55.
Yeah, but if you remember the Tennessee game, he's like, where do I need to get to? He's like the 37. So that's in his range, but I mean, it's only 3 yards. I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Just throwing that out there.
I think it's situational football because it depends on where you're at. They're in a dome tonight. Like, it definitely depends on where you're at, where you're playing. If you're playing in Denver and the air is different and things like that, just I mean, there's a lot of factors that fall into it, but would I like to see him more aggressive on the field with going 4th and 1s this year? Yeah, whether we get him or not, I'd like to see it.
Yeah, I think Mike said it pretty perfectly, to be honest. It's more end of the game or beginning of the game when you have more opportunities later. I think you said that perfectly.
Like, he is 210.
No, because all right, so I just put a message in our group chat. I asked Eric to come back because Eric he said that he had a lot of positives from tonight's game, and I never asked him to list them. So I have
listed them. He said Fred Warner. He said a couple things.
I don't think he went down his list of positives.
Did we bring up DJ Reed at all?
Yeah.
Yes, Ryan. I think Ryan did, right?
That's me.
That's Ryan asking the question.
Oh, well, I guess it wasn't.
It
was on the phone. No, it was on the phone. Somebody said
DJ
it was on the phone.
No.
I was going to say, I brought up DJ Jones. I don't know, maybe
it wasn't Eric. Hey, Eric, real quick. I just want to get your list of positive things from tonight's game because when we started this, Nick was saying that it was hard to come up with positives, and I said there were at least 5 things. And you were like, "Oh no, there were positives. There were positives." So I want you to run down your list of positive things real quick, and then you're done.
Definitely. I'd say Dante Pettis. Just he's been creating separation and stuff like that, and it looks like it continued. I said, hold on 1 second. Just had a big play. My bad. Dante Pettis, Tarvarius Moore, Jimmy Garoppolo. I think who else was it? I saw somebody else flash. Maven. I thought Maven played well.
I said that shit, right? I said that shit.
And he's somebody that can possibly, push Ward out right now. I think Tarvarius Moore, I think they still want him to develop a little bit more. But so Maven. And I thought, even though, I know people talk about the run game, run blocking and stuff like that, but I thought that run blocking was actually a little bit better than what everybody's kind of giving it credit for. I think the running backs just weren't as explosive. So that was kind of my positives. Jimmy Garoppolo. Oh, Marquise Goodwin. So basically, the normal guys, the normal, I thought were positives.
What'd you think about Fred Warner?
Oh, he looked good. I saw him get, chokeslammed one time, but aside from that,
wait. Can I ask you guys, did you guys see the play when Darrell Williams Jr. was playing tackle and he literally just put his head down like this and the dude just pushed him on his back and he belly flopped off the ground and just laid there? Did anybody see that?
He pushed his back and made him fall into his stomach.
Yeah, he literally just fell flat out. Did anybody else see that?
I didn't see it, but I saw him get bullied last week by Armstrong. So, I
gotta find that shit during the game and just film it so I can show you guys what I was talking about. Watch it be this play. Oh no, because that's Tomlinson
it's
in
not
there.
This play, bro. All right, thanks a lot, Eric. I appreciate you.
Yeah, my laptop had died. My laptop actually died on me, so that's what that was.
No, you good. You good, man. I appreciate you jumping on for real. I just want to go over my positives real quick. So I have here listed. I have Nick Mullins still looks significantly better. Ronald Blair, DJ Jones, Garnett. Pass rush is a problem.
DJ Jones, you said.
Yeah, I said that. I'm looking through it. Pinion over lock. Right? Fred Warner. And nope, that's a negative. DJ Jones, Warner. Maben, I have Maben listed here also. So there were some positives to take away from this game, guys. It's preseason. We don't want to look at the score. We don't want to look at anything. I think both fan bases are going to be upset with this game. This was not a fun game to watch, but we knew this wasn't going to be a fun game to watch. People who understand how the joint practice thing works should have understood that this was going to be a tough game to watch, right? It's not going to be a high-scoring game. Nobody's going to blow the other person up because they're going to learn to stop the other team from doing what they want to do. So this game was exactly what we expected. It came down literally to the very end, and that's it. So we got to keep an eye on certain things. I'm hoping to see next week Garnett get snaps with the starters and not the second string. I want to see Ward be moved around. I'm not going to say take him out as a starter, because I expect Sherman to be back, so I don't think he's going to start. But I want to see him moved around from position to position because I personally want Ward, if he's going to stay on the team, to be a backup at multiple positions, right? You agree with that at least? No? Yes? You want him cut. All right. I want to see the running back depth get tested. We'll have Morris next week. And overall, I want to see better decisions from Kyle Shanahan at the end of the game.
I'm interested to see in one thing next week.
What's that?
Other than the play of the first
Colts,
team.
So there's not a good defense. There's not a good offense.
I'm interested
we should have our way.
I'm interested to see if Julian Taylor plays with the ones and then leaves with the ones again. Because that's what he did today.
He didn't come back with the twos?
Nope. He left with the ones and didn't come back the rest of the game.
He's a starter? Oh, no, but Armstead comes back. That's another thing. I want to see the people on the IR or not IR, the injured players come back healthy and contribute. I want to see guys like Eric Armstead. You know what I mean? So that was a good catch right there. I want to see Cooper get worked with the twos, but I also want to see Garnett bump up to the ones. You know what I mean? I don't know if Cooper was so bad because the players around him were bad. I want to be fair in our assessment. We deserve that. I want to see the running back, Morris. Morris needs to get in. He didn't get any snaps at all. So,
Morris. Fuck is Morris?
Who the fuck is Morris? I rest my case.
Oh, Alfred Morris.
Yeah, I rest my case, bro.
I'm like, wait, what?
I rest my case. He didn't get.
I thought you were talking about Mostert because he didn't get any snaps tonight. So that's why I was like,
he didn't get any snaps at running back. But I want to see Morris. We saw Wilson Jr. All of a sudden, I'm thinking to myself, fuck Williams.
What do you guys think from Mostert not getting any carries?
That's a good question.
I kind of have my theory, but
you got a theory? Okay. All right. So let me go ahead. Who you got? Anybody want to go first? Why didn't Mostert get carried? And by the way, if you take a look at preseason, Mostert averages the highest yards per carry. He's the most explosive player we have on the outside. Not so much up the gut, but he's definitely the most explosive player we have. Why didn't Mostert get any carries? Did they already know what they have in him? Is he just not the type of guy we're looking for based off of him just bouncing it out to the outside? You want me to go first or what?
You asked anybody else.
Anybody want to go? No? Steve? No? Yeah. Anthony? No?
They're all like, I'm tired of shit, bro.
All right, so yeah, I know. Everyone's tired. The reason I think that Mostert didn't get any snaps is because the team has seen him enough. I think they feel like we don't need to see him at running back because we don't want to put any more film out. I heard Kyle Shanahan say something a while ago, and that was the more you do it in preseason, the less likely it is to work during the regular season. And I think Mostert has secured his spot between the running back abilities and special teams. Special teams more than running back, but I feel like he secured his spot already. So Shanahan feels like he's going to make the team. I don't need to put him out there as a running back because just in case of injuries, I don't want to put more tape out on him.
Did he fumble?
Yes. Yes. Mostert fumbles a lot. Probably more than anybody else on the team. Anybody want to go next?
I was just curious if we could publicly say this new lowering your head rule is absolute garbage. To see guys out there making textbook tackles and getting flagged for it, it hurts my heart for watching football as long as I have. It takes the fun out of it, man. And I'm just worried about that transferring to the regular season and deciding the outcome of games. I just think we should shame the hell out of that rule until they pull it. I don't know what we can do.
I think we're going to see a ton of that shit right now in preseason and then like barely any of it in the regular season. I mean, that's what I think is really going to happen because I think they're trying to get these guys to tackle properly, but they are not going to be able to play games like this. One reason we time restrictions because they're going to make the game. The more penalties, the more the game goes. So, yeah, I'm going to fucking backhand you. He's drunk as shit right now.
I'm not drunk.
Bro. If you would have saw that drink I made you, but anyway, do you really think that's gonna? I mean, do you think they're gonna continue to make all those flags?
No, I think they're just using it as like
training.
This is a good call. This is a bad call. This is a good call. This is a bad call, and they're just kind of giving themselves something to kind of go off of.
But it's like one play in particular, it was the punt return. The guy gets down there and makes the tackle. Like, right as he catches the ball, and we get flagged for that. I don't know. Those type of plays worry me because that to me, look, you can't get any safer of a tackle than that. To me, it looked pretty mellow.
Real quick comment on that whole thing too. If you guys get the chance to check out the Jags and the Vikings game today, one of the Vikings players sacked the Jags quarterback, and he didn't lower his head. He didn't nothing. The call was that his body weight took the quarterback down, which is an unnecessary roughness. And if that's not the line for how bad this rule is, I don't know what is. Just something to check out.
Wait. His body weight took the quarterback.
I saw it. It
That's
was
what
like
The
they don't
D-line,
want you to, like, you know how Barr did Aaron Rodgers and hurt him? How he kind of like just dropped all his body weight on him?
yeah.
They don't want you doing that. But that
But literally every sack is about body weight, bringing the opponent down to the ground.
No, they don't want you to like drop all your dead weight on someone. They want you to bring them to the ground, but not like
Don't
you know
drive him around. Basically, don't drive him in, like what Barr did.
This is the play.
Like they just want you to just sack the quarterback, like just sack him.
We got him. Okay, I'm just saying we got to wrap this up. So, what were we doing?
We were closing it out an hour ago.
I'm sorry, man. I don't know. I don't fucking know, man. Anybody else got anything to say? We got to end this out. We good? All right. Anthony's good. Steve, you good?
Everybody's good.
RV, you good? I see Eric stealing.
One quick thing. Aaron Burbridge actually got wide receiver snaps today. I thought that was something
Burbridge?
surprising. Yeah, Burbridge actually got wide receiver snaps.
He had a couple of grabs, too.
I think that was after Bourne hurt his back.
Wait, Bourne got injured? Swear to God.
Remember when he went to the huddle and he was saying my back?
Yeah. But he didn't come back?
He had like 2 more snaps, and then Burbridge came out.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Still, at least we got to see something for once. That's it, though.
All right, guys.
Prepare for greatness. Anticipate pain. But above all else, stay faithful.
You fucked that all up.
We're up out of here, man. Peace.